Maria, thank you, and welcome to Williams-Brice Stadium. Today, the Gamecocks step away from conference play as they welcome the Minutemen of Massachusetts for the first ever series meeting between these two programs. You're watching SEC Network Football presented by Allstate. Welcome, everybody. Tom Hart alongside Heisman winner Andre Ware. This could be the tipping point of the season for Will Muschamp's Gamecocks. They need to win 4 of their next 6 to make it to the postseason, so expect a quarterback change today. True freshman Jake Bentley will have his red shirt removed, and he may just start this game.
Yeah, this is what he's been working for his entire career. Left high school early after his junior season, was 12-1 as a junior, threw for over 2,800 yards and 28 touchdowns. He's got all the intangibles: a coach's son, a gym rat, a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. This kid, I got a chance to go down to the field and watch him. He can flat out spin the football.
Well, Muschamp rotated through some quarterbacks during his time at Florida, and here in his first season in Columbia, this would be his third different starting quarterback if indeed Bentley takes the first snap. UMass won the toss. Minutemen have elected to defer, so South Carolina will receive. Great day for football and beautiful fall weather here in the Mid-State.
Perfect afternoon for some good old college football right here in Columbia, South Carolina.
It's the third SEC opponent of the season for UMass. Previous losses on the road to Florida and at Gillette Stadium against Mississippi State. Michael Caggiano will get us started. Rashad Fenton back to receive. Fenton will have a chance here from the 2. And he dances his way through to the 24-yard line. Let's take you down to the field as we say hello to Cole Cubelli.
Tom spoke to Bobby Bentley, who's the running back coach here on the South Carolina Gamecock staff. His son, Jake Bentley, going to see time today, said, "I'm nervous for 2 reasons today." Obviously, he wants the Gamecocks to get a win and wants to see his son do well at quarterback. This was planned from the beginning. Thought he would be a January enrollee. Now, and early as a junior, after his junior season in high school, going to get the start here today for the Gamecocks.
All right, thank you, Cole. Jake Bentley, freshman from Opelika, listed as his hometown, but a home state kid, and he will hand it off on the first play to David Williams, and Williams picks up a pair. So here's what you need to know about Jake Bentley, who's getting the start today. They pull off his red shirt 6 games into the season. Better than 2,800 passing yards last year as a high school junior. A lot of kids are early enrollees after playing their senior year of high school. By all indications, he's just the second player in college football history to be a starting quarterback after not playing his senior year but enrolling a full year early. John David Booty played at USC, was the other. Incomplete, trying to get it to Deebo Samuel, and that will leave 3rd and 9. Much maligned offensive line and an offense that's only scoring 2 touchdowns a game by average.
Yeah, and Hayden Hurst will be a go-to target for him. Leads the team in both receptions and receiving yards. He's a converted wide receiver, so he's got speed to get up the seams. He can work the middle of the field. Excellent hands and great size at 6'5", 250 pounds.
They have struggled mightily on 3rd down this season. Bentley deep out route, and that's complete to Brian Edwards. Very talented freshman receiving corps with Edwards leading the way, gain of 14.
If they can get production out of the quarterback position, they are set around him. Rico Dowdle, the running back, Brian Edwards, who you saw just catch that pass. You've got Chavis Dawkins, another true freshman. A lot of young players for South Carolina offensively.
Jake Bentley will hand it off to David Williams, his first carry. He's wrestled to the ground after a gain of 4. So Jake Bentley connects on his second collegiate attempt.
You know, watch the timing. Just sitting in the pocket, got under a little bit of duress, but an accurately thrown football. And I say accurately because anytime you're a true freshman making your first start, you've got bodies around you. A little nerve-wracking.
He'll turn 19 next year, so by age, he's not as young as some. Deebo Samuel on the end around, and he takes a pass midfield. In fact, he's only a week younger than Georgia's quarterback, Jacob Eason. Gain of 8 there. Here's how UMass lines up on defense.
Yeah, and Deshaun Downey is a guy that he may end up in the face of Jake Bentley all afternoon long. 6.5 tackles for a loss, 4 sacks on the season. Both lead the Minutemen's defense.
So fresh set of downs for Jake Bentley. Asked Will Muschamp what's difficult about being a freshman quarterback in the SEC, and he answered what isn't difficult. So many things on the plate of Bentley today. He had an extra week to prepare with the bye week. Here's Williams down the sideline. David Williams inside the 20 and finally shoved out of bounds by Jesse Montero.
Highly recruited out of high school. He chose South Carolina over Ohio State, Arizona State, Tennessee, and Auburn. But a nice stretch play here, trying to get to the outside. Excellent edge blocks. Malik Young, the right tackle, with a terrific block on the outside.
They'll keep it on the ground, and Williams gets undercut. Let me go back to this freshman quarterback, Andre, who should have been starting for Opelika High School in Alabama last night. Instead, he's here playing as an SEC quarterback. What's going through his mind in terms of his nerves before his first start?
Well, before that first pass, you saw a little bit of it to Deebo Samuel, the wide receiver. Just a simple screen pass, trying to get a base set for him to get him implemented into this game slowly. But a little bit of nerves, certainly. But once you have that first completion as a passer, now the confidence just starts to rise that, hey, I've done it in practice against our first team defense, which they worked during the bye week, ones against ones. And then all of a sudden you get the first completion to Brian Edwards. You settle into the game, and then it's just football from this point on for Jake Bentley.
UMass's defense has been besieged by injuries. Joe Previty, third-year sophomore from Brockton, Mass, is the injured player being tended to by the athletic training staff. They're already without linebacker Shane Huber and Teddy Lowry. Enoch Asante is also out with an injury. Early timeout here in Columbia. 2 minutes in. Another hit to UMass's health. Joe Previty with an ugly elbow injury on that last play, and he was frustrated coming off the field. South Carolina struggled offensively. 9 offensive touchdowns, fewest in the FBS. Comparison, Bama has 11 non-offensive touchdowns this season. They've got A&M this afternoon in a big SEC matchup. Ali Musa, Mario Patton, Peter Angay, and Peter Ngobidi on the defensive line for UMass. That's 3 second-string players. A.J. Turner, Rico Dowdle is a South Carolina running back. Here's Dowdle. Cuts it back up against that D-line, inside the 10, inside the 5, and he lost the football stretching. They'll say he's down at the 1. That's a 12-yard run for the freshman from Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah, he gives them a physical presence in the running game. Does a nice job. A.J. Turner can work the edges of the defense, and then along with David Williams, but Dowdle comes in and he can really go between the tackles.
Bentley hands it off again. Touchdown, South Carolina. Rico Dowdle. And the emotion and energy from the freshman quarterback, Jake Bentley. He was fist pumping into the end zone. One drive, and the youngster has South Carolina on the scoreboard.
Yeah, big pass from Jake Bentley, true freshman, to Brian Edwards, true freshman, and then finishing the drive, Rico Dowdle, true freshman.
Elliott Fry hasn't missed an extra point in 133 consecutive attempts. That role will continue. South Carolina came into this game as 3-touchdown favorites against UMass. They hadn't had a game where they scored 21 points all season long, but they're off to a great start here. And Will Muschamp said, we need to find a way to fix this offense. It's not all on the quarterback. It's not all about quarterback play, but you can see the impact that Jake Bentley makes on his very first drive.
Well, a nice pass to Brian Edwards on the outside. That gives him a first down. And then the long run by David Williams to get him within striking distance. And then the touchdown by Rico Dowdle with a couple of excellent blocks by Zach Bailey, the left guard, and Alan Knott, the center.
You did a great job.
Big hole.
Yeah, you did a great job, I thought, illustrating how young this South Carolina offense is, and that portends to the future for this program. Yeah. But the funny part about it is Will Muschamp is telling us we're making a change to win now. This isn't about next year or the year down the road. This is about getting wins in the bank this season. They need to win 4 out of 6 to go forward.
It's gonna compliment them in both ways this season, and they feel like right now Jake Bentley, 6 weeks in, gives them the best chance to win. It took maybe a little while to get himself associated with a system. I'll tell you what, they are well on their way. Nice nucleus of young players for South Carolina.
No return for Isaiah Rogers. UMass has had a shuffle at the quarterback position over the course of this season. They'll be without Ross Comas for the remainder of the year. Comas out with a knee injury, and so they turn it over to Andrew Ford. Originally started his college career at Virginia Tech. He's making his 5th start today. He got up to a great start in a shootout against Louisiana Tech last week. He's a pure drop back passer, and he hit on his first 11 attempts against Skip Holtz's squad last week.
Yeah, Ross Comas was the mobile quarterback. They felt like gave him an extra element to the offense, but Andrew Ford effectively moves this team. He was 72% last week. 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception. You mentioned it, a pocket passer. Well, he is very good at it.
And here's a pitch to Marquise Young. He's got great talent and speed, and he rips off a 12-yard run on the very first play. South Carolina's defense has given up too many big runs this season, according to Travaris Robinson. Here's how they line up.
Yeah, if T.J. Holloman has one of his better games, look for that to change. Leader of the defense, that can make plays sideline to sideline.
Quick hitter out of the backfield. It's Andy Isabella, their leading receiver, lined up in the backfield, and he picks up 7 back-to-back big plays for UMass's offense.
Well, we know Andrew Ford's got to get it done at quarterback, but he's got a ex-teammate that he played with in high school, Adam Brenneman, who leads the team in receiving yards, receptions with 35 to go along with 390 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns.
He's in the slot left, former Penn State tight end, and the lefty looking that way. Ford over the middle, and that is tipped and incomplete. Near takeaway, he was trying to find Isabella.
You see, and that's the difference. Not only the left hand, the left arm that he throws with from Comas, but right there, Comas may have taken off with a little green grass in front of him. Andrew Ford's going to sit in the pocket, survey things down the field, and distribute the football.
Neither offense has been good on third down this season, 2 of the worst in the FBS. South Carolina converted on their drive. Now Ford finds his tight end, Adam Brenneman, and they convert. So throw out the history. Neither offense could score. Neither offense could convert a third down, and here first time out. They've both done it.
Yeah, Brenneman's the move tight end. They will use shifts with him throughout the game, different motions. He can play in the slot, as you mentioned. Very versatile.
The play action, Ford hiding it well, and the southpaw able to go right back to Brenneman, and he fumbled. Scooped up by Chris Lamons, looking for some blocks. And Lamons will be taken down. South Carolina with the takeaway after the fumble by Adam Brenneman.
The one thing, if you're UMass, that you can't afford to have happen when you go on the road is turn the football over. Nice drive by Andrew Ford being put together. You'll see Brenneman here, his favorite target. A nice job from T.J. Holloman coming from behind to strip the football out. Brenneman never saw him. This is the end of it. Happening here with Chris Lamons coming up with that fumble recovery.
So another opportunity for freshman Jake Bentley. David Williams is his running back. Williams trying to find room on the left side. And he's able to deliver a lick on Kari Bailey-Smith, a gain of 9. South Carolina legend Marcus Lattimore sends out a tweet this morning. Surreal moment to see little bro Jake Bentley out there. Remember when he was a ball boy at Burns. Yeah. Proud to know him. His dad, a legendary high school football coach here in the Palmetto State up at Burns. Couple state championships, a ton of wins.
Talked to his dad this morning. Said, yeah, he's been around this program, but this is a little bit different. There's some nerves there. I think his dad was more nervous than Jake himself.
Now the running backs coach here at South Carolina, and his running backs having a great day today. Williams picks up the first down. Boy, what a spark. I mean, you can't put it all on one single position, but South Carolina has been abysmal in all marks offensively all season. 126 in the country in rushing yards, just better than 92. They already have 74 on the ground against this independent opponent today, UMass. The freshman Rico Dowdle spelling Williams in the backfield now. Bentley wide, trying to find Hayden Hurst, a reliable tight end for South Carolina.
Yeah, Hurst took inside, and Bentley looked as though he expected him to run the hitch. Tried to hit him on the outside shoulder. Hurst ran it more like a curl. He came inside, so you're going to have some of that throughout the game where new quarterback, a little bit different expectations and where the receivers will be.
Bentley looks right, comes back screen left. Debo Samuel's got the sideline, and now it's a foot race. Samuel to the 20, and he dances his way down inside the 5. Jesse Montero had the angle. It'll go for 47 yards.
Yeah, this is the play they wanted to open the game with, and Jake Bentley led Samuel a little bit too far out front, and they missed on it to start the game. There, they were able to connect, and Samuel turned it into a foot race.
Rico Dowdle now in at tailback for South Carolina. Big play for Jake Bentley and Debo Samuel, perhaps the future of this program. Dowdle the future as well. It takes a couple Minutemen to bring him down. Bailey Smith finally. By the way, that completion down the sideline and the screen to Samuel, the longest South Carolina pass all season.
See, Dowdle runs through contact. You can see it on the touchdown run, and then that last carry. Very talented player. He missed some time in camp with a sports hernia, but 100% now.
Change at quarterback. McElwain in. Brandon McElwain, the freshman, goes right side, and he lost his footing. He's down inside the one. Will Muschamp told us yesterday you'll see two quarterbacks over the course of the game today. They want to get better in their drop back game, and they want to get better at the zone read.
Yeah, and this is what McElwain can do. When they get down inside the red zone, they are looking for production down on this end. He could give it to them.
He gives it to Williams, and he's in for a touchdown. Couple of rushing touchdowns for the Gamecocks here in the first quarter. And they're handing it to one-win UMass already.
Just felt like they could be a little more physical in the trenches up front. Going to turn this game over to the big offensive line and push and lean on UMass, who's a little bit smaller up front, certainly than South Carolina.
Fry connects again. It all started with the hookup with Debo, which is kind of like when your dad asks you to go ask for your bike back. This Debo gets caught up with after 47 yards down the sideline, but that's quite all right for South Carolina. It sets up a touchdown plunge for David Williams, and the Gamecocks showing their feathers here early.
What bite?
Carolina offense, which averages only 2 touchdowns a game, already there today. Let's check out where to watch with the Heisman winner. What are you watching today?
Yeah, for UMass, they have to limit the mistakes on offense and defense. That's where they get themselves into trouble. Already the Brenneman fumble has led to 7 points. And then South Carolina, they need production from Jake Bentley, starting to get that as he gets his footing in this game. Defensive line needs to flat out dominate. That remains to be seen, because UMass had a drive going until the Brenneman fumble.
They'd even completed and converted a third down. Isaiah Rodgers comes out of the end zone from the 2-yard line. Rodgers gets spun out of bounds. We got a flag on the play. Should add to UMass's field position.
Yeah, it looks like a face mask. That's going to be 15 additional yards tacked on here.
During the return, personal foul, face mask, 24 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty for the end of the run, automatic first down.
Matt Austin, our white hat today.
Just watch the end of this. Right at the end, they're just reaching in and grabbing a handful of face masks. DJ Smith, it looks like.
College football continues today, 4 o'clock on SEC Network. Middle Tennessee's in Como to take on Barry Odom's Missouri Tigers. And then tonight, Mississippi State, Kentucky. That's a big one. SEC Nation is there today. Who you got in the nightcap?
I'm going to go with Mississippi State in that ball game. Kentucky good out of the gates, but having trouble finishing. Mississippi State looking to bounce back from a loss in Provo, Utah to BYU that we got a chance to see last Friday night.
Did you ever catch up in your sleep?
I'm still thrown off a little bit.
Sakai Lindsey in a tailback. They give it on an end around. Once again, Andy Isabella from the slot on that jet sweep, and he's able to take it for 9. DJ Smith forces him out of bounds. There have been some injury issues in the backfield for UMass. Marquise Young did not play in the second half against Louisiana Tech last week, and so they're trying to use Isabella in the backfield and out of the backfield.
Yeah, it's no surprise that he leads them in receiving. Excellent possession receiver who runs nice, clean routes, knows how to get himself open.
A great speed, ran an 11-second 100 meters in the Atlantic 10 outdoors.
Also won the Ohio 60 meters in high school.
They faked that jet sweep and give it to Sakai Lindsey. He wanted to go outside and try to fall back forward. Maybe got it. Dante Sawyer with the tackle, the junior from Suwanee, Georgia. There's a head coach for the Minutemen, Mark Whipple, in his 9th season. Second in school history, 56 wins. It's his second go-round at UMass.
He's coached some pretty good ones, Ben Roethlisberger being one when he was in Pittsburgh. Talk about a quarterback whisperer. This guy can coach him up.
Lindsey got enough for the first down. UMass into South Carolina territory under the direction of left-handed quarterback Andrew Ford. He was an Elite 11 quarterback coming out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Nothing doing Isabella. And South Carolina came away with the football. Second takeaway. Sakai Lindsey and Andy Isabella couldn't figure out who wanted the football, so it's taken away by the Gamecocks.
We talked to T-Rob. Tavares Robinson needed some turnovers in this game. Wanted to find a way to make UMass turn the football over. Nice job by Keir Thomas.
You know, a lot of programs run that play the opposite way, Andre.
Another true freshman, by the way.
Yeah, there's a lot of great future of the South Carolina program. But if you run that as a toss forward, that's an incomplete pass. If you try to get depth, that's a fumble.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the mistakes plaguing UMass right now. 2 fumbles and have led to 7 points, and we're still charting.
Jake Bentley trying to step out of the pocket and escape. We got a flag on the play, and he slides forward. This one likely coming back the other way.
Well, likely a holding penalty up front. Offensive line, you ask them to hold up a little bit too long. Defenders or the D-line start to come free, and now you're in a reach and grab situation.
Offense number 23, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
It's Rico Dowdle, the freshman. So if Jake Bentley stayed on schedule, he would have been playing last night for the Opelika Bulldogs, who beat the Pelham Panthers 35-17. Instead, he arrives in South Carolina a year early. He takes off his senior season of high school, and they originally planned for him to blue shirt. You've heard of red shirting probably. You may have heard of gray shirting. Blue shirting is a term that a lot of people aren't familiar with. Go to the screen again, and that one's incomplete. Trying to find it to Brian Edwards. And so our sartorial graphic will walk you through the different blouses out there. Red shirt, you get 5 years to complete 4 seasons, meaning you essentially take a season where you don't play. Green shirt, those are the guys who enroll a semester early. You start the spring term in January, you're eligible immediately. Gray shirt is guys that are asked to delay their enrollment by a year. And blue shirt's a little bit different. Well, Muschamp brought it up yesterday. I don't know how many of us in the room had ever heard of it. UMass loads up the box, and Rico Dowdle takes it the other way. So the plan for Jake Bentley originally was to come to campus, to be offered a delayed scholarship, meaning he wouldn't have been part of the 2016 recruiting class.
Essentially pay his own way that first semester.
He could have as a walk-on, but in reality, this is a way to work around scholarship limitations per a specific class, and that would have applied to next year's class. As it turned out, South Carolina had another signee who didn't qualify academically, so Bentley was able to get his scholarship and be part of this recruiting class.
And it saves a spot in 2017 for another recruit.
Here's Debo Samuel. Gets dragged down by Steve Casale, gain of 6.
And a nice job by UMass after the turnover to get themselves off the field, holding up on 3rd down. Here's Coach Bentley, the father of Jake. Got a chance to visit with him down on the field before the game. You talk about nerves. When your son's out there doing it for the first time. All the football he's played, but this is a little bit different on this level.
Sean Kelly punts it away. Flag from the side judge. And that one goes into the end zone, and it will be a touchback.
You got flags everywhere. I think every official emptied their pockets.
.51-yard punt from Sean Kelly, who averaged a season-high 49 yards per punt in their last game against Georgia. South Carolina coming off of a bye week. Matt Austin.
Illegal substitution on the receiving team. 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
I tell you right now, you go on the road, you cannot have penalties and you can't turn the football over. And UMass has found a way to do both.
Mark Whipple's team 1-6 this season. 0-5 against the SEC since moving to the FBS.
Now, it's not going to give South Carolina a first down, but what it will do is it will give them an opportunity to land this ball inside the 10-yard line. You were going to get it on the 20. Now it's a better punt here.
And that'll back UMass up after that 38-yard punt. Some great history here in Columbia, South Carolina with this football program. And what we're seeing today, not the past, it's the future.
SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate, proud supporters of college football. It's good to be in good hands. And in part by Dr. Pepper and Dollar General, making smart plays this football season.
Nearly 2 weeks every October, the South Carolina State Fair comes to Columbia on the 115 acres of fairgrounds just north of the stadium here. A little history for you. In 1861, the Confederacy used fair buildings as a place to make war munitions, and then Sherman's army came through, burned the buildings down, and maybe those were the first fireworks here in the Palmetto State. 147th year for the South Carolina State Fair. I'll bring you some fried ice cream at halftime.
Please do. I would love some.
They fake the jet sweep again. South Carolina not fooled. Big stop, and it's a loss of 4. James Allen came in from his cornerback spot to make the stop.
Yeah, they really need to get Marquise Young going. He's a big part of this offense, the team's leading rusher, but right off the edge, creeping down inside. Bryson Allen Williams there to help out and make a stop.
Marquise Young taking the direct snap, trying to find some room. No room. TJ Hollum in there. Let's see what Cole Kubelik's got for us.
Tom, I want to go back to that first down stop for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Travaris Robin's defensive coordinator told us about a knock look that they might have with the tackle over. You saw Jack Driscoll move over to the right side as an extra tackle on the right side of the offensive line. A nice job of recognition by the Carolina Gamecock defense. Got aligned and were able to make a tackle in the backfield. You have to knock over the center to basically the guard next to the center. He becomes the middle of the offensive line, something they knew they were going to have to recognize today.
Knock, that acronym, new offensive center, is how it spells out for that South Carolina defensive front. Ford stands in the end zone, trying to get out of trouble. Well, lofted, incomplete. There's a big hit, and that's going to throw a flag.
I was waiting on the pass interference to come on the back end of it because I'm not sure the defensive back working against Jalen Williams, but just took a shot on him rather than playing the football. Not sure he would have caught it anyway. It's certainly pass interference, and this is going to give UMass a first down and some breathing room offensively to open things up on offense.
It's been a very physical week of practice for the South Carolina defensive unit.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
They returned to fundamentals, a lot of tackling drills, and, well, this was a little too physical.
It looked like Chris Moody right there with just arriving way too early.
He's watching on the Jumbotron.
Yep, I did it. Eye in the sky does not lie.
Already the third flag against the Gamecocks today. UMass 120th in the nation in rushing offense. Marquise Young rips off 5, but they had a great start to the season.
Yeah.
And early in the season, they were making some strides on the ground, and they weren't easy opponents. They had a great game on the ground against Florida to open the season down in the swamp. They had BC in week number 2. And even the first half against Mississippi State, they ran the ball really well, but then the injuries started to catch up with this team. Empty here, 5 wide, and they try to go down the sideline, incomplete. Looking for Jalen Williams. And you think about this schedule that UMass has played, they're making a lot of money for it, but they're also taking a lot of hits against some big opponents and some big lines like Florida's and Boston College and Mississippi State, as we talked about.
Yeah, we opened the season with them against Florida, and having to battle there, and it's just tough when you look at the schedule of UMass. Florida, Mississippi State, coming here to South Carolina. You're playing home games at 2 different stadiums, that's tough.
They get Wagner next for the first time ever. Ford Wow, fitted in. And a great hands by Andy Isabella. Gain of 9, and that's a first down. Chris Lamont's on the coverage.
Yeah, and he started his career as a running back, which is why they're not afraid to give it to him on speed sweeps. But watch the quickness in and out of breaks. Watch the hands at the end to finish. Nice ball placement as well by Andrew Ford. It's going to be high and outside where either Andy Isabella is going to catch it or it's going to be an incomplete pass.
UMass has already turned it over twice, trying to take control of the ball and hold on to it here. Ford will hand it off to Young. Tried to turn the corner and is able to squirt up the middle for a gain of 4. Chaz Elder playing with broken ribs and really banged up for South Carolina in to make the tackle.
Broke him against Mississippi State a couple of weeks ago. And versatile player who's moved back to safety this year from cornerback. He saw action in just 2 games last year, but a very experienced player. Knows this system well, and he can operate just about on any level, whether you get him close to the line of scrimmage in the box or ask him to play as a true safety.
Marquise Young, sophomore from Fairport, New York, had a great finish to the season last year against Buffalo.
I like the way he runs the football. No nonsense, no hesitation. Just get into the line of scrimmage. There, full head of steam coming downhill. Take what you can get. Put the team in a 3rd down and short situation here in order to pick up the first down. But a chance to see him, as I mentioned earlier, against Florida. He's a nice player for UMass. Going to be around another couple of years, just a sophomore.
We'll get Reshoot, John Robinson Woodgett. Fullback tailback combo in now on 3rd and 2. Play action. Ford lobs it to Isabella. And he can't make it. A gain of 1. DJ Smith, the first man there for South Carolina to turn him back inside. That'll bring up 4th and 1 for UMass near midfield. Do you go for it?
Yeah, I think so. It's about half a yard shy of the first down. I think so. I think you put Marquise Young back in the game and let him try to pick this baby up for you.
Yeah, he left because his shoe came off, so he's got that shoe back on. The running backs for UMass have looked really tentative thus far today.
And if it's short enough, I don't even mess around with the ball handling. I just put Andrew Ford under center and let him try to quarterback sneak it. But it's Young that's in the gun for them.
They'll take the direct snap out of the Wildcat. Carolina shows blitz. Young able to get the edge and the first down for UMass. There's some momentum for these Minutemen. A gain of 9 on the run by the sophomore running back.
And it's a weakness of South Carolina defensively, giving up 173 yards a game, but a nice job of getting to the edge. No nonsense. Let's get downhill in a hurry. Marquise Young able to pick up the first down. Some nice edge blocks there for UMass as well.
10th play of the drive. UMass has turned it over 15 times this season. Twice today to stymie a couple of drives. Out of the backfield, Robinson Woodgett gets wrestled down by TJ Holloman, 5th-year senior. Gain of 7. We talked with TJ yesterday, and he was really pleased with what they're allowed to do defensively. This was a very predictable defense over the last couple of years with Steve Spurrier rotating through some different coordinators.
Yeah, he makes all the calls for the defense. Great sideline-to-sideline player. He's played in a lot of games, 42 in the last 3 seasons with 22 starts.
South Carolina takes a timeout here with under a minute to go in the first quarter. UMass with its best drive of the day thus far. South Carolina leads UMass 14-0. 56 seconds left in this first quarter. And, you know, for UMass, Andre, taking care of the ball.
Yeah, it's a premium today.
Yeah, allowing the drive to continue. I mean, that's like the difference between the 28 and 30-yard line.
No doubt.
What you want to look at.
You put it on the ground. They were able to dodge a bullet when you had the fumble on the last possession, and now moving it again. They haven't had trouble moving the football. It's both times they've had it, and this one they've been able to move the ball. You see the 2 turnovers led to a touchdown or the 7 points, but they've moved the football. It's just you have to take care of it.
2nd and 3. Sakai Lindsey is in a tailback. And Lindsey will pick up the first down. Interesting scenario a couple of plays ago. UMass wasn't happy with this SEC officiating crew because they stood over the ball to allow South Carolina to get their subs in. That is supposed to happen when the offense has sub guys in. And you see Andrew Ford talking with the center official saying, wait a second, we didn't bring any new personnel in. Let us snap the football.
You're absolutely right, and they've got a legitimate gripe in that sense. If you don't sub offensively, then the defense, you're not holding it for the defense to make substitutions.
Maybe they're just working on the assumption. UMass doesn't sub a lot, but they shift a lot. They will motion to different formations, even though they run a lot of the same plays. Window dressing, if you will. Ford, deep ball, incomplete. Trying to find Isabella. Chaz Elder with the coverage.
And they're trying to run an Isabella on a corner route, but nothing underneath to pull coverage up, to give him a little bit of room as you flatten it out. Here's Isabella, the last 3 games, 15 receptions, averaging about 10.8 yards per reception, and then the 4 touchdowns. Very productive player for this UMass offense.
This is the 13th play of the drive for UMass.
They got what they want inside already, just on alignment.
Little pitch to Marquise Young. They've run this a couple of times. It's good for another first down. And this UMass team is driving, gain of 16.
Exploiting a weakness. This is a weakness of this South Carolina defense, to get out on the edges and defend the run. And Marquise Young, he's got speed. He can run with power. On a couple of occasions, we saw it on 4th and short, where he was able to pick up the first down.
So we've seen the future of this South Carolina program with some great offensive plays today. Unfortunately, on this drive for the Gamecocks, the present still rearing its ugly head. Defense can't get off the field. South Carolina, though, a couple takeaways, and they lead this one 14-0. Have been the biggest hindrance to the Minutemen's offense, I should say, so far today. Turned it over twice. South Carolina has 1 touchdown over it. Came on the very first drive, by the way, when UMass was moving the football. And now Mark Whipple's team, its longest drive of the day, and Andrew Ford has them inside the red zone.
Well, they need 6 points here to get back in this game. Make sure that it doesn't get away from them here early in the first half.
Blitz coming. Ford stands tall, fires in zone. Touchdown! Adam Brenneman, a 14-yard strike between the former high school teammates.
Well, they bring the blitz. Brenneman gets inside position, and Andrew Ford throws an absolute dime. Watch him come back inside. Working against Chaz Elder, had a couple of steps on the safety.
Andrew Ford was home this past summer, needed someone to throw to, so he called up Adam Brenneman, who had previously ended his collegiate career after knee injuries at Penn State. Now they end up on the same field for UMass, and a scoring strike is a 14th touchdown pass of the season for Ford. Brenneman's 3rd touchdown as Caggiano knocks through the extra point. These 2 guys go back a ways, both Pennsylvania natives. Brenneman started his career at Penn State. Ford started his at Virginia Tech, enrolled there in January of 14. But here they were at Cedar Cliff High School. That logo on the helmet looks familiar, doesn't it?
It really does. Some Indianapolis action.
Well, Brenneman ended up at Penn State, was a freshman All-American there.
Well, they go 2 tight ends, and watch Travis Reynolds. He's going to clear things out and allow Brenneman to start outside like he's going vertical. Then he'll cut inside, and watch the timing from Andrew Ford. Right here, nice job in the middle of the field with his blitz. Comes wide open for Adam Brenneman. Well, that's well timed up. Coming right at you, right near your living room. Well, that's pretty.
My living room isn't that big. 7 seconds into the second quarter, and UMass is on the board for the first time. Rashad Fenton back to receive this one from Caggiano. From the 2. Fenton bounces this one outside. Beautiful cutback into UMass territory. It's a 50-yard return for Rashad Fenton, the sophomore from Miami's Carroll City High School. Martin Mangrum finally brought him down.
Well, another young player, just a sophomore. Watch the return. Starts it right, then cuts left, and then it's a foot race. You get everybody drawn inside, thinking that you're going to go right. And this is nice. Good work here, and then the cutback, as you described, to pick up a couple of extra yards to finish the run. That's nice. Good work.
Jake Bentley at quarterback for South Carolina that took off his red shirt metaphorically to start this game today. He's with David Williams in the backfield, and Williams trying to find room on the right side. Kind of an odd timeline for Bentley. We've got a flag on the field. He's a four-star prospect coming out of Opelika High School.
That's maybe a hold on Malik Young, the right tackle. He's kind of grabbed one of the Minutemen defenders and took him down.
Holding, offense number 77, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Watch 77, the right tackle will show up in your screen right there, and then just a grab, and it's a nice takedown. Wrong sport. It's going just along for the ride on a nice fall afternoon.
So that'll back up the Gamecocks. Bentley on first down, fits it in complete to Chavis Dawkins. Bentley took unofficial visits to Stanford, Florida State, Bama, Georgia, and Auburn. He played at Burns High School as a youngster before his family moved to Alabama. His dad was an analyst on Gus Malzahn's staff at Auburn. As a high school junior, threw for 2,800 yards. Will Muschamp pointed out to us, though, that they had a plan for Bentley to graduate early. The Opelika School District didn't see it that way, so Jake Bentley had to leave Opelika High School and go to Spartanburg, South Carolina to finish his last class to get his high school diploma. And that one's tipped, and Debo Samuel couldn't haul it in.
Well, and I tell you what, I was down on the field watching Jake Bentley warm up, and he is not, supposed to be a senior. He is well put together for a guy that was supposed to be a senior in high school. He's every bit of 6'3", every bit of 223 pounds. And you'll see on the end of this, showing you the strength that I just described. Able to get that ball, break a tackle, and then he throw a ball out to Debo Samuel that should have been caught. He is well put together. I did not look like that when I came out of high school.
It leaves 3rd and 14. Bentley with the deep ball, and that is caught for a first down by Terry Gouger. We'll see if the marker's good enough. He's right there.
He may be he is right there, maybe a half yard short, or may have gotten it by a half yard. They're going to mark this just short of the first down mark.
They're going to bring Brandon McElwain in to run this 4th and short play.
Gouger is a solid route runner for South Carolina with excellent hands. Doesn't have the breakaway speed, but can he catch the ball?
McElwain on the zone read will keep it, and he gets wrestled down shy of the line of scrimmage, and they won't pick it up.
I think he's going to be short here.
Ali Musa in to make the stop for UMass. One of the complaints for the South Carolina coaching staff has been in the zone read game, and it's all about the read. They say if you don't make the read correctly, doesn't matter what you do or how much talent you have, and that was a focus of theirs over the bye week. UMass trying to find some momentum. Perhaps they got it with that long offensive drive. Maybe they get it with this 4th down stop, and they build on it as Ali Musa swallows up Brandon McElwain. Celebrating its 12th year, sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, All-State makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, All-State has contributed millions in scholarship funds. Turnover on downs for South Carolina. What'd you think of that 4th down play call?
Well, big play by Ali Musa to stop him just short of the first down marker. And now I think I'd take a shot here. Great field position. Let your quarterback Andrew Ford go downtown.
They want to do that on play action. He's got all day. Lefty flushed right. And that is caught by Brenneman. Nope, they say out of bounds. Jamarcus King, the junior from Mobile, Alabama, with the coverage.
They wanted to go to Andy Isabella, who was just about to come open when Andrew Ford got the pressure. He's loading up to take the deep shot, which we described. And right there, coming off a block like Kelsey Griffin, the senior from Buford, Georgia, comes free and just gets Andrew Ford off his launch point.
Seemed like UMass had some momentum. Coming off the fourth down stop, Marquise Young grabs that momentum and takes it right up the middle of the field. First down, Minutemen, a gain of 16, and he's a big energy guy. He got some pushing and shoving well away from the play afterwards between one of the DBs, Chris Lamons, and Jalen Williams.
A little acting going on as well, but Marquise Young is going to be one heck of a player for this UMass program. No nonsense, runs away from TJ Holloman, and once again, problem stopping the running game, rearing its ugly head for South Carolina.
Young now split out wide, empty backfield for Andrew Ford. Pressure from the edge, hit, lob, and it'll fall incomplete. Darius English brought the pressure from the edge.
Yeah, watch the left side of the line here. I think it's going to come from this area right around, right out on the edge. Actually, it's the edge player. Maybe Chris Moody once again making a play. Excuse me, Darius English, who is by far their best pass rusher. Talked to Tavares Robinson yesterday and said he is really playing well as a senior.
Young gets spun down by Bryson Allen Williams and spun out of it. Ends up losing a yard.
Well, this is where you want to stay away from if you're UMass. Third downs, only 26% coming into the season and converting them on third downs. Mark Whipple wants a timeout. He wants to talk about this one.
Whipple's coached some great quarterbacks in his time, and now he's got Andrew Ford and company trying to keep this drive alive. First time around as the head coach of UMass, Mark Whipple got off to a great start. In his first year, UMass won the Division I AA national title in 1998. They were the 11th seed that year. They forced 7 turnovers in the title game that turned into 31 points as they upset top-ranked Georgia Southern 55-43. It was one of 3 trips to the national title game for this UMass program, which this year is playing its toughest schedule ever. It's their first year as an independent, and that could be tough going. Teams like Army, Notre Dame, and BYU have great advantages as independents, specifically when it comes to budgets, but Mark Whipple has a tough task ahead of them this year. They still have a remaining game at BYU and at Hawaii, pardon me. That won't be easy.
There's Isabella and Brenneman. Keep an eye on those two side by side in this formation.
3rd and 10 for Ford. Intercepted. TJ Holloman. You were right. They were looking for Isabella.
Holloman, who we talked about early, or at the top. Big-time playmaker, sideline-to-sideline player, and right there, right off the hands, you'll see Isabella crossing from outside in and hit him just about in the face mask.
3rd turnover today for UMass.
What's amazing about it is if he catches it cleanly, he may outrun Holloman, who had him in coverage, to the first down marker.
So that momentum right out the window as Rico Dowdle takes it for 8. Kari Bailey-Smith the stop for the Minutemen.
3 fumbles, or 2 fumbles and an interception. 3 turnovers for UMass here in the first quarter. You're on the road, SEC Stadium. It's tough to win on the road as it is, but you're going to gift turnovers to South Carolina, freshman quarterback or not. It's tough to win.
Rico Dowdle. True freshman from A.C. Reynolds High School in Nashville, North Carolina. Got his first start a couple weeks ago against Georgia. He's been out in the first 4 games of the sports tournament. Great All-America, first-team All-State performer. He's a big-time prospect.
Yes, he is. Good speed. Run between the tackles, and you see there his average per carry at 6.2 to get this game started.
Trips to the field side. You see this formation a lot. Hayden Hurst, the former baseball player, takes it up and is able to rip off a nice gain of 9.
Well, he spent some time in the Pirates organization.
That's your team.
Yes, it is. He moved from wide receiver. Asked him to put on a couple of extra pounds and move to tight end. Well, he's big enough now, 6'5", 250 pounds, and didn't lose much speed.
He's used to changing positions. His professional baseball career got started as a pitcher before they moved him to first base. Walked on to this South Carolina team last year. Nothing doing on the left side of the line. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. Shockey Holiness with the stop for UMass.
He happens to be the team's best pass rusher in there, showing some versatility in the run game. Led the team last season with 9 tackles for a loss. He can really cause problems off the edge.
Just like they did on 4th and 1, here on 3rd and 1, Brandon McElwain in to take the snap. He'll hesitate before going over left side for the first down, gain of 4.
Well, there's no speed sweep to really have to consider. He was coming downhill. Cole and I were talking when we went to commercial break. Why in short yardage situations, why mess around with it? Get engaged. Once you get the snap, get north and south, as opposed to even trying to fool the defense to think you're going to go to the edges. Just get straight ahead and into the line of scrimmage.
Two tight ends here. Williams. Whoa, he got lit. A yard behind the line of scrimmage by Jesse Montero. Montero's been playing nickel. He's really in as a strong side linebacker for Teddy Lowry here.
Yeah, playing because of injuries, but watch him come up here. Nice job. That's about as well a formed tackle as you can have. Guy coming downhill at you, you're going to get a little bit lower than he is. There's a lot of things well, according to the coaching staff, for this defense.
Coming off of an 11 tackle performance against Skip Holtz's Louisiana Tech team. 2nd and 11. See if Jake Bentley, the freshman, recognizes the defense and made the right call, but didn't get it done in time, and a timeout taken by South Carolina.
Timeout, South Carolina. 2nd timeout of the half.
Carolina down to 1 timeout, up a touchdown here.
SEC Network Football is brought to you by Valero, the power of the American dream, and the DQ $5 lunch, now available all day for a limited time.
I had 10 on number 4 to finish the win, and Figs may not fly, but they can swim, and we'll do anything for a little snack at the end, won't we? That's at the South Carolina State Fair, just adjacent to the stadium right now, going on for the last couple of weeks.
Waiting on that food at halftime. Saving up just for, would you say the fried ice cream?
Yeah, they
haven't had that.
They market it as fried butter, and that's fine with me and Homer Simpson, but I believe it's ice cream. Here's a tunnel screen to Deebo Samuel, and he gets taken down after a gain of 4.
Yeah, after giving up the big play to Samuel on that same exact play, and all of a sudden UMass has started to play that well. They're going to force Jake Bentley to put the ball down the field, force it down the field a little bit. 7 of 11, 98 yards, but he has yet to really challenge deep down the field.
I watched one of their fall practices here in person, and he was going deep every chance he got. Wants to let one go here, and he unloads it. Diving catch, end zone. Touchdown, South Carolina. Casey Crosby. A beautiful pass.
Asking, you shall receive.
First touchdown pass for Jake Bentley's career. It's the first touchdown pass at home this season for the South Carolina offense. 16 yards. Perfect touch to Casey Crosby.
The first of many more for Jake Bentley. Just a talented passer. You could see it in warm-ups. Very confident.
And a mistake on the snap in the hole. Little fire drill. And South Carolina unable to find the point after.
What a nice job here. Watch the touch. Just over the top, drops it right over the shoulder of the defender.
Second touchdown catch of the season for Crosby. Look at the energy Jake Bentley's bringing to this program. And Brandon McElwain, his classmate, first off the sideline to congratulate him. The season, South Carolina was averaging just 2 touchdowns a game, 128th in the nation. Can't get much worse than that. They have 20 in the first half today.
South Carolina had only thrown 2 touchdown passes the entire season, 6 games in. Jake Bentley ready with his first one. He's going to throw a lot more than that.
They have matched their season high in scoring. Isaiah Rodgers will take the knee in the end zone. This college football season, stream every game live on the ESPN app and on Watch ESPN. Download the app or visit watchespn.com today. Stick around at the half. You can watch a live performance of South Carolina's Carolina Band on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Well, this is one play at a time. I know it sounds like a cliche, but for UMass, it's one play at a time. You need to put a drive together. They've shown throughout this game, or here in the first half, that they can move the football against South Carolina's defense. Find some protection for Andrew Ford. Stop putting the ball on the ground. Get back in this game.
3 turnovers for UMass. Isabella on the motion, takes the toss, and he gets undercut, and that play just hasn't worked today on that toss to try to get more depth once it's resulted in a fumble, and this time Chris Lamont blows it up for a 5-yard loss.
Well, he usually moves inside in their nickel packages, but here coming from the edge against when you have a tight end on the field, gets inside. Tell you what, you've got to get some hands on him. And Jonah, the receiver in the game, has got to do a better job of blocking on Chris Lamont.
Nothing doing on 2nd and 15. I want to go back to the jet sweep, Andre. It's such a staple for so many offenses this season.
Yeah.
And we've had coordinators tell us before, when we run it deep, it's because we don't want a whole lot of traffic right behind our offensive line. It's usually because they're concerned about penetration.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you get any push, it throws the timing of the play completely off. So they'll bubble behind a little bit, but what it does as well is if you have a guy like Chris Lamont that gets up the field, and it is tough to execute.
Again, nothing doing. South Carolina stout against the run. Marquise Young had nowhere to go, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Selling out against the run. And South Carolina, a lot of bodies crowding the line of scrimmage. Quavius Lewis making a nice play there. He's had a nice senior year, off to a pretty good start, 25 tackles, a couple of tackles for a loss, and then a fumble recovery this year for South Carolina.
Logan Lawrence has been sick, battled strep last week, only kicked 1 day in practice this week. He gets the punt off from the 38-yard line. Chris Lamont stretches forward. That's been an issue for South Carolina all season. The punt return game has been abysmal. That's positive. 42-yard punt, 19-yard return. So Lamont's settling in at special teams and come up with a big hit on defense, fighting off the block to take down Isabella. all week that Jake Bentley would get that red shirt taken off. The only question was whether or not he would start. He has, and he's already tied South Carolina's largest offensive production this season. We're not yet to halftime. That time, a little too strong out in front of his intended receiver. Well, big difference for South Carolina today has been their starting field position. It's been their own 27. Yeah. That's one of the worst in the country coming into today, but today their own 42. Return game's been part of that. Defense and takeaways a big part today.
Yeah, Coach McClendon, he told us, or Kurt Roper told us, 80% of their drives started inside their own 30-yard line. You don't have production at quarterback, that's tough trying to score.
On 2nd and 10, here's Rico Dowdle. And if you look at the raw numbers from the field position for South Carolina, coming into today, they had 71 drives. 9 of them had started inside their own 10. Only 5 had started in their opponent's territory across the 50-yard line. So, well, Muschamp's team has gone through 3 quarterbacks now this season. He went through a handful at Florida. South Carolina's had a revolving door at the position over the last 3 or 4 years. Maybe this guy will settle it down. He's perfect on 3rd down today. Right tackle maybe in the backfield here. No flag. Bentley tipped and incomplete. And there's a flag. Terry Gouger, the intended receiver. Malik Young was lined up in a flying V formation.
Trying to get a head start. Some guys coming a little bit too fast for him off those edges, and he's trying to get a jump.
Pass interference. Defense number 39. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Isaiah Rodgers, a freshman from Tampa, Florida.
I can take a look at this pass interference on Rodgers.
You know, the funny thing.
A little early. Go ahead.
Well, the funny thing for Mark Whipple is he was complaining about the officials after the game against Louisiana Tech, and he said the beauty of being an independent is I don't have a commissioner to answer to. The bad part about it is I don't have a league that I can send my complaints to, and we just get a hodgepodge of officials out here, but he's not going to get fined. Deep ball, Bentley again, got a man, and it's incomplete. Rodgers with the coverage on Deebo Samuel, able to break it up. That's an aggressive mindset we saw from Jake Bentley in the fall scrimmage, and we talked to Kurt Roper about yesterday.
Well, you can tell Jake Bentley's played a lot of football because that ball's thrown with pressure coming right into his face, and look how accurately it's thrown. It gives Samuel an opportunity to make a play, but he was under tremendous pressure when he let that one go. Part of playing quarterback is courage, willing to stand in there and throw the ball when you know you're going to take a shot.
Tunnel screen, Samuel gets it straight up the field and takes it inside the 25. Colt?
Tom, thing that's impressed me more than anything with Jake Bentley being down here on the sideline is a couple plays where he's had to move some guys around, a couple plays where the play clock was winding down, had to get the snap quickly. Really has kept his composure very well and managed the players around him, whether it's in huddle or going hurry up, and they have picked up the tempo a few times. He's been able to manage that perfectly, something that's not necessarily expected, especially against a front that's going to give you a lot of unorthodox looks.
I want to go back a couple of plays ago, him getting through some reads.
3rd and 5, blitz coming, deep ball again. It is caught! Touchdown, South Carolina. Brian Edwards hauls it in. Bentley's thrown for a pair.
A couple of true freshmen having big days for South Carolina. Welcome to college football, Jake Bentley.
Snap issues on the last point after. Drew Williams has this one better. Sean Kelly the hold, and Fry with the make. He throws a beautiful ball. Jake Bentley to Brian Edwards.
And he's slowly earning the respect of teammates. You see here under pressure again, but knows how to put some air under the football to allow the 6'3" Brian Edwards to climb the ladder and make a nice grab. And how about that? That's what it's all about on a Saturday afternoon, having a little fun.
You think he's watched some football?
Oh,
a lot of that reminded me of Brett Favre right there. The look, the fingers to the sky, the number, and high stepping it to the crowd.
Yeah, no doubt. He is a gym rat. That's what the coaches tell us. Kurt Roper as well as Will Muschamp. He's always watching film, processing things, and just learning. And he's put himself in a position to play, and not only play in this offense, but to play well.
Jake Bentley, 11 of 17, couple of touchdowns and 149.
And he's had some drops. I mean, where he's hit guys right in the hands, a throwaway or two.
Rodgers from the goal line. Stutter steps and will carry it to the 25-yard line. 27-7. Tom Hart alongside Heisman winner Andre Ware. You remember back to your freshman year at the University of Houston.
Long time ago.
It was a little bit ago. But you started as a freshman.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind, and what do you see going through Bentley?
Just nerves. And what you want to do is get the first completion. You want to start to stack completions together. And then all of a sudden the confidence starts to bubble out. Now or you've proven it not only to your teammates, but to yourself that, hey, I can do this. Once the nerves are gone, now it's just a football game on a Saturday.
There was some risk involved in this move. You take a red shirt off of a kid 6 games into the season. If it doesn't work out, you cost him a year.
Yeah, but I think Will Muschamp and this staff, they've kind of massaged this just right in terms of when to do it, not asking him to do too much where he's overwhelmed.
Ford's got a man wide open down the middle of the field. Busted coverage, and Jalen Williams inside the 5 and into the end zone. A 74-yard touchdown strike from Ford to Williams. Wow.
Just like that. He's their best receiver, according to the coaching staff, but he's been hurt. He's been banged up. He's the veteran of this group, and they just leave him. The safety, the Sam linebacker, Chris Moody, everybody turns him loose, and then you get a couple of players, DJ Smith, that had an opportunity. Instead of making the tackle, he goes for the strip, and Jalen Williams steps right out of it.
Williams from over in Kennesaw, Georgia, North Cobb High School, was really banged up in fall camp and early this season. Extra point is good from Caggiano. So Andrew Ford with his 15th touchdown pass of the season, second of the day. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes or more in 5 of the last 6 for UMass.
Just watch Jalen Williams. He's just going to come wide open. Everybody here is going to forget the safety, the corner. They just turn him loose. Watch him. He's just throwing that hand open. You see Chris Moody, he gets out of position. He's at least 7 yards behind the secondary. Now it's just make a tackle. Make a for sure tackle. Forget the strip, which is exactly what DJ Smith goes for. Instead of making this tackle, he goes for the strip, misses, and that allowed Williams to just step into the end zone. Right, just like that, UMass right back in the ball game.
UMass has been on the precipice in this game, just right there on the edge, trying to grab momentum. It seems they've had it a time or two. Will Muschamp coaching up Chris Lamont, and that would make you think that perhaps Lamont was supposed to stick with Williams.
Well, I know there's a safety that's supposed to help over the top in that 2-deep look. Whether they were rotating, you can't allow a guy to just run freely down the middle of the field.
No return for South Carolina. Let's take a look at Playing with Style, brought to you by Bell. Freshman Jake Bentley with a couple of beautiful touchdown passes in his first half.
Yeah, Casey Crosby here with a nice grab, and he follows it up with a true freshman, Brian Edwards. Nice touch on both passes in that same corner of the end zone pretty much, and it's the electricity that he brings to this football team. But I tell you what that touchdown pass just did for Andrew Ford? Put a little more pressure back on Jake Bentley, because now he can't just go play freely with that lead. All of a sudden, he's still in a football game where he's got to continue to manage it.
They go trips to the field side, and they get it out there to Deebo Samuel. One block.
Nice.
Breaks free. Stutter steps his way to a first down. Fantastic vision for Deebo Samuel. What a difference it makes to have he and Bryan Edwards healthy. They've both been fighting through hamstring injuries throughout the season.
You know, coaches live in the now. You can't convince Will Muschamp, but every once in a while they'll peek into the future. You can't convince him that the future is more important than right now. But Deebo Samuel, just a sophomore. We talked about Bryan Edwards, a true freshman. You got a true freshman quarterback, running back. The future is bright offensively for South Carolina.
They go right back to a screen to the right side and Bryan Edwards. And Edwards is able to pick up 4.
And on top of all that I just mentioned, they've got 4 out of 5 offensive linemen, with the exception of Mason Zandy, the left tackle, coming back for next year. So there's a lot in the cupboard for Will Muschamp going forward.
But there was a lot missing when he took this job.
No doubt about it.
He was very candid with us yesterday. He said, listen, I knew exactly what was on the table when I took this job. I knew what the shortcomings were. And people ask me all the time, wait a second, we're struggling. You're 2-4 this year. You've won one SEC game. How can you be positive? He goes, I look out there and see how young these guys are.
And I got players that I can build with. There's the youth on the roster. 78 of 115 players are either freshmen or sophomores. Almost 68% of his roster. That's the reason he can be excited about the future. And then you're going to add younger players in another recruiting class, and they have a staff that can go anywhere in this area or this region of the country and all the way down into Florida to bring players in. Doesn't take long to fix what's broken.
Shockey Holiness a little banged up, and he will be helped to the sideline. They're already without Enoch Asante on that one of those end positions. Deshaun Downey has been injured, and I don't know if Downey's been on the field yet today. I know he wasn't out there earlier, at least to start the game. Out there now, and some snaps. And no explanation from UMass as why he didn't play the first series. Bentley hands it off. Steve Casale comes up to make the stop after a gain of 3 by Rico Dowdle.
They're without UMass, without their leader in Shane Huber, leading tackler, a guy that can certainly make a lot of plays for him. He's out. Missing a lot defensively.
Pressure again, incomplete. Trying to find Gouger away from the pressure.
That's what they want to do to Jake Bentley. Put some pressure on him, and I think he's held his composure extremely well here in the first half with all the pressure that UMass is trying to bring. They want to force him into making a mistake. Force him to get rid of it quickly and maybe target the wrong receiver at the wrong time or throw the timing off just enough where he makes a mistake and they can capitalize.
Deep ball on 3rd down. Nobody there. Corey Banks cut off his route, it looked like.
And another blitz on 3rd and 7, and they're able to force it out of his hands. Again, he throws inside. The receiver, Edwards, goes outside, and they're going to force a punt here. Watch the pressure here. It's coming right in the middle of the formation, and they push the pocket just enough to force the errant throw.
UMass only with 10 men on the field for this punt return. Fair catch asked for. And South Carolina will down it inside the 20.
Plenty of time here for Mark Whipple and his offense. 1:21, 2 timeouts. Clock will stop with each first down. Let's see if he tries to roll the dice to go down and add some more points here before the first half is over.
Well, college football coming your way today. Faurot Field, Columbia, Missouri. The side is Middle Tennessee heads to Como for our game next. And then tonight under the lights in Lexington, Mississippi State taking on the Wildcats. SEC college football all day today on SEC Network. You see John Calipari on SEC Nation dump a couple of nice passes in today. And it's like everybody's got questions at quarterback. If you're a bottom tier team in the league right now, you got big time questions.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And South Carolina had plenty of questions coming into this ball game, but They seem to have answered, for the short term at least, those questions about quarterback with Jake Bentley.
They'll keep it on the ground. A couple of yards at time for Marquise Young.
Credit Travaris Robinson, the defensive coordinator of South Carolina. They were getting gashed in the first quarter in the running game, and he made some adjustments up front. And at one point, it had gone for like -4 yards their last 4 or 5 carries.
Hey, are you surprised, though? They had some time to work with, as you mentioned. They got 2 timeouts. They're averaging 18 yards of completion. You don't take a shot?
Totally surprised that you're not speeding things up. You'll often hear me say that you cannot score enough points in the first half of a ball game, whether leading or behind.
And so another conservative call to keep it on the ground, and UMass seemingly content to let the clock run out to close the half. And the flip side of that, obviously, is if you drop your quarterback back, you've already turned it over 3 times today, and you could give up points right before the half.
Yeah, to my point, UMass, the first quarter, they were averaging about 5.5 yards a carry. And in the second quarter, those adjustments by Travaris Robinson, the defensive coordinator for South Carolina, has cut it to about 2.5 or 2.2 yards per rush. Just really stymie UMass's running game.
So back and forth affair between 2 teams that have a combined 3 wins. A lot more entertaining than it seemed to be on paper. Cole Kubelik will catch up with Coach Muschamp coming up on the Cooper Tire halftime report. Our score in Columbia: Gamecocks 27, Minutemen 14. The Jake Bentley era has started indeed for Carolina, and it looks promising. Now to Peter Burns with the Cooper Tire halftime report with Tony Barnhart.
Joe
Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina, 27-14. Gamecocks behind freshman Jake Bentley have the lead. You're watching SEC Network Football, presented by Allstate. Welcome back, everybody. Tom Hart Heisman winner Andre Ware. You know a little something about starting your first game as a freshman. This moment hasn't been too big for Jake Bentley.
It really hadn't, and what I've been impressed with was him taking care of the football and really going through progressions and getting the football to the right receivers. Watch here as he scans the formation. This pass play designed to go right, middle, left. 3 receivers eliminated before he hits the check down. Then he finds K.C. Crosby. Nice teardrop pass in the corner of the end zone. Follows it up with a second touchdown pass, dropping one off the table to Brian Edwards. Tell you what, playing well beyond his years as a true freshman.
He'll be 19 next month. He was going to be a senior in high school before he decided to enroll early. And in his very first start, first action, 13 of 21 for 168. Let's go down to the field, check in with Cole Kubelik.
Tom, on the other side of the football, overheard some of the South Carolina defensive staff talking about getting a push, and they're going to emphasize getting into the backfield. This pocket has not collapsed quick enough for the Gamecocks. That was the first pass of over 50 yards this season. The Gamecocks had given up best in the SEC. Going to need a pass rush to make sure that doesn't happen again in the second half.
UMass had some opportunities. They had some momentum. Mark Whipple, though, decided to get to the half in that last possession.
They'll lean on Darius English, their best pass rusher, to try to get there. Look for South Carolina as well, especially in this first possession. It's essential that they force a punt and get the football back and not allow UMass to go down and score to keep this ball game close.
Isaiah Rogers bobbing his head a moment ago. Music stops, and here's the return. We start the second half with a hurdle, and he takes it to the 30-yard line before being put on his back. Turnovers a key for UMass in the first half as we check out the numbers. 213 yards of offense to 290 for South Carolina, but the 3 turnovers were costly.
Yeah, T-Rob, he did a nice job. Their defensive coordinator, 85 rushing yards, but 70 of that came in the first quarter. He made some adjustments up front and limited UMass to just 15 yards rushing in the second quarter. And then on the flip side of that, I think South Carolina's done a nice job on third downs where they've struggled this year. 62%, 5 of 8 in the third down conversion department for the South Carolina offense.
Andrew Ford has thrown 2 touchdowns. He's also thrown a pick. He's got Marquise Young in the backfield next to him. Good starting field position for the Minutemen. Little option look on the pitch to Young. He's got the edge. and gets wrapped up after a gain of 6 on first down. DJ Smith, the junior from Walton High School in Marietta, Georgia, with the stop.
And making sure that he makes that tackle. Allowed Jalen Williams to get away when he went for the strip on the long touchdown pass that Cole referenced here to start the second half.
They get it outside quickly to Young, just past the hand of TJ Holloman, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and less than 1. Look how close Holloman came to his second pick.
Yeah, almost hit that second pick. I mean, it was hand delivered on a tray to pick that one off. Just get the hands up, and you got a chance to make a play in a foot race with a quarterback, Andrew Ford, to the end zone.
He's the voice of the defense for South Carolina, making sure everyone's lined up properly. 3rd and 1. Straight ahead. Young hit, and it'll depend on the spot. Yorick Jones right there. First contact for South Carolina.
That's certainly a favorable spot, but I think they're still going to have to measure this one. Got completely turned around. I thought they would go left because that was the strength of South Carolina's offense. The bubble, which is the uncovered guard, was over the left guard, Fabian Holaire.
Mark Whipple not happy with that spot, Andre, and they'll have 4th and inches now. They're going to keep the offense on the field. Marquise Young in at Wildcat. Blitz coming, and they blow it up. The pressure came right in his face. It was Bryson Allen Williams. First man there, left to Lorenz Bryant to clean it up.
Well, it never got started in a couple of short yardage situations. This is where UMass has gone, that putting Marquise Young in the shotgun, and you'll see him come from the left side of the right side of the offense's formation. Watch Bryson Williams right here make his way inside, gets a nice jump on the snap count, and comes free, untouched, to the lap of Marquise Young. Oh, what a nice play, and to make it once you get there.
So great starting field position after the turnover on downs. Jake Bentley, the freshman quarterback. They run left with Rico Dowdle, and UMass there to blow it up. Steve Casale is coming in from his linebacker spot. Cole, what do you see?
Tom, we've seen that A-gap blitz from the inside linebackers of UMass multiple times in this game. They like to pick and choose where they bring their pressure from. I thought you would see the majority of it come from the edge against the South Carolina defense, whose tackles have struggled, especially in pass protection, but trying to attack the A-gaps here early.
A-gap just between the center and guard. Coming right off that center, Alan Knott. That time past left guard Zach Bailey. It's a loss of 3. Pressure from the edge this time, Cole, and they're going to go deep down the sideline. Separation was there. Pass is incomplete. Debo Samuel had a step on Lee Moses, but the ball just hung up a little bit.
Well, you could see it coming. Not sure which direction the wind's blowing, but he does a very nice job of putting air under the football. I'll tell you what, if anything, it should have been pass interference on Moses. He never turned around, just threw his hands up, face guarding. Everything spells pass interference, yet the flag never hit the field.
3rd and 13, pressure coming up the middle again. Casale will get there, and he wraps up Jake Bentley. It's a loss of 9. And while UMass gambled going for it on 4th down, their defense able to get them out of that hole.
Yeah, talking with Tom Masella, the defensive coordinator for UMass earlier in the week, this is what they wanted to do. If they were going to start the true freshman in Jake Bentley, they were going to heat him up a little bit, bring some pressure, come from different fronts, show a 3-man front, 4-man front, and then bring pressure, as Cole talked about, through the A-gap between the center and 2 guards, and they're able to get there.
Sean Kelly punts it away. James Allen asks for a fair catch. He backed up in this field position battle after that 41-yard punt. UMass back on offense after this. Let's take a look at today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
See here, dropping one over the top. Nice catch by K.C. Crosby. Another one in the same corner of the end zone by Brian Edwards. Jake Bentley dropping dimes today.
They used the off week to get the freshman ready. Well, Muschamp said we wouldn't be having this conversation if he wasn't a gym rat and well prepared already. Marquise Young, the tailback. Straight up the gut, and he picks up 5 on first down.
They're going to the weak side of the formation, tight end, and Adam Brenneman to the right side, and South Carolina overloading to that side, covering the guard, and Michael Boland. So the free spot or uncovered guard, so to speak, is over the left side. You've got Marquise Young, who came into this game nursing an injury. You could ill afford to lose him.
He did not play in the second half of the loss to Louisiana Tech last week at Gillette Stadium because of an injury. Now they'd look at his lower left leg. That was a game in which the UMass offensive line allowed 7 sacks.
Yeah. I thought maybe they could get 20 carries or so out of Marquise Young. He's at about 19 for 81 yards.
You see his left ankle got rolled up on, and the first Carolina player there to bring him down.
Tried to go back to the huddle and just get too much pain. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see him. Special player for UMass.
So Bilal Ali replaces him in the backfield. He's a freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. And Ali gets his first opportunity here. Able to pick up 4, and that will leave 3rd and 1.
You see the difference, the smoothness in which Marquise Young runs, how he hits the hole a little bit faster. Ali kind of picking his way through. Zakai Lindsey now checking in for UMass here on 3rd and short.
Third down and 1. Lindsey and Robinson Woodgett in the backfield. They're going to throw. Ford moves the pocket, fires complete, flag on the play, and stretching for more is Andy Isabella. If it stands, it's a first down on a gain of 7.
Flag came in from the side judge pretty quick, or the line judge to that side quickly.
Illegal formation on the offense, more than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
So that'll back him up.
It's a little bit tougher to pick up the first down here when it's 3rd and about 6. You got to get yourself lined up right. Mark Whipple talked about executing. If they had to execute and show some improvement. At times they have.
Ford, incomplete. They wanted a flag and didn't get it. Jamarcus King had the coverage on Isabella.
And he's played some pretty good football on that corner spot. Coach is very high on the junior out of Mobile, Alabama. Very long player, excellent ball skills, and he shows you right there. He was beaten inside, but watch the recovery speed, and you see the length at 6'2", 180 pounds, able to recover and make a nice play.
Chris Lamont's back to return this one. Good boy. Wow. They will walk it all the way back inside the 40, marked out at the 38-yard line. It's a 26-yard punt. South Carolina doesn't have much ground to cover here.
SEC Network Football is brought to you by Belk, the home of modern Southern style. Visit belk.com today.
Here's a way to get to your car after the game, Andre. We'll skip right over the pedestrian traffic by
Let's
taking the
do it.
chairlift over the South Carolina State Fair. At the end of that is a funnel cake. South Carolina offense this season coming in has been miserable, but what a shot in the arm the freshman quarterback Jake Bentley has been for them.
He really has, and is taking care of the football. This field position, This is when you go down, you take a shot. You got man-to-man on this side of the field right in here. Go ahead and let him take a shot.
No gain on first down, David Williams.
It can become predictable where UMass is starting to play the run on first down. You got to mix it up. Go ahead and open things up for him. At some point this season, he's going to have to throw to win games. You might as well get the reps now.
That might be next week against Tennessee. Second and 9. Bentley pressured. Swings it out to Williams. And we got flag on the play. Lee Moses on the tackle. Multiple flags in the backfield.
It's going to be a holding penalty, but I tell you what, impressed with Jake Bentley. Oh, roughing the passer.
Automatic first down.
I'll tell you what, getting through progressions. Mentioned it coming back from the half. He's reading down the field. That's about his third option is the check down to David Williams. And Deshaun Dowdy a little bit late on Jake Bentley. It's going to cost him about 15 yards. But that's the thing I think I'm most impressed with. We know that he can throw the football. Watched him in pregame warm-ups. He's dropped a couple of nice passes in for touchdown passes to K.C. Crosby and Brian Edwards, but just getting through the progression and then checking the football down, he's been excellent. That's hard to teach and to get freshmen to understand.
Hurst in motion. Movement. UMass looked like they jumped. Handoff to A.J. Turner. We do have flags down. Shockey Holiness on the stop for UMass. A little anxious on that far side.
Offside, defense number 41. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
I mean, UMass has been competitive today,
yeah,
but they just can't get out of their own way.
And it would be an even better game. Watch up top. You see the movement there. Again, Deshaun Downey, but fumbles, the interception. Now penalties you throw in there.
A penalty on first down when they had the ball in the last possession back to
You're
them.
still in the ball game, but imagine how much closer it would be if you just take away half the mistakes that UMass has made.
David Williams inside the 10. 4 yards on 1st and 5, and now South Carolina can do whatever you want. What they want to do now is bring in McElwain, and even the energy with which Jake Bentley runs off the field when he gets subbed out is something refreshing.
He is. It'll change over time. He is just so happy to be in there and be a part of this and getting his first start. He's fired to everything. It's exciting for him.
It's like a rookie baseball player that runs out every ground ball. McElwain, he's a baseball player. He takes it straight up the right side, brought down short of the goal line. This is Jake Bentley when he got subbed out for McElwain moments ago.
Nice little hustle. Nice little some dap right there. Like it. You know what? And that's contagious. It rubs off on teammates.
McElwain still in the game. Williams again. Touchdown again. 1-yard plunge for Williams, his second touchdown of the day. Multiple flags following.
Just about untouched. Good job by Zach Bailey and Mason Zandy, the left guard and left tackle. Williams just walks in the end zone.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown. Following the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 5 of the defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 77 of the offense. Those fouls offset. That is the first unsportsmanlike penalty for each player.
That's Malik Young for South Carolina and Peter Angay for UMass. If they draw another flag of that same variety, they'd be ejected from the game. Short field helped after the bad punt. South Carolina only had to cover 38 yards, and Elliott Fry on for the extra point. Second longest streak in SEC history when it comes to his kicking. Point lead for South Carolina. They did get off an extra point earlier, and that might make a difference for some before the day is done.
See McElwain make the nice read here, putting South Carolina up 34-14.
Gamecocks by 20, 7:53 to go, third quarter. Great crowd on hand on this fall afternoon. You're watching SEC Network Football presented by Allstate. Third SEC opponent of the season for UMass.
A lot of time left. A lot of time to get back in this game if you're UMass. You've got to get out of your own way a little bit.
They've been streaky. They had a great fourth quarter against Mississippi State at Gillette last month, and the kickoff return takes it out to the 24-yard line. Recent history of the South Carolina program is a bit like a roller coaster. Head ball coach was here, and they had 3 consecutive 11-win seasons. Won a SEC East in 2010. Bowl wins against 3 teams, programs that are top 10 now, Michigan, Nebraska, and Wisconsin. And 2014 to present, well, 3 different head coaches, 12 wins, only 5 in conference play. Steve Spurrier's drinking Diet Dr. Pepper somewhere right about now, or has his feet in the sand on the Florida beach, and boy, things changed in a big way.
Program produced the #1 overall pick in Jadeveon Clowney, now a Houston Texan, and playing some outstanding football. Finally healthy and starting to see what he can really do.
They had some great talent, and a lot of it was local talent, as Ford completes that one to Andy Isabella. You mentioned Jadeveon Clowney, Alshon Jeffrey, Marcus Lattimore, Stephon Gilmore.
Yep.
All guys from within the Palmetto State. And
Harold
you'll hear
Cooper,
it all the time.
I'll throw him in there as well.
Oh, my goodness. He was a fantastic player for him up until last year. Now on to the NFL. Marquise Young back in the game for UMass. That's a good sign on a 1st and 10 here. But they started 5 different quarterbacks over the last 2 years. Knocked away by Rashad Fenton. Last year's main starting quarterback, it's Lorenzo Nunez. He got moved to a wideout this season. We haven't seen him play.
Pretty much since Connor Shaw left this program, it's been a struggle at that position. But right now with Jake Bentley, you're going to settle in nicely there, and you've got some playmakers, a young group of players around him that you can build on. I mentioned earlier, 4 out of 5 linemen will be back next year. Got to be encouraging for Will Muschamp.
Ford over the middle to Adam Brenneman. Gain of 8.
This is kind of what you expected from UMass coming in. You eliminate mistakes, they can move the football against anybody. They pose a problem. They're 2 tight end sets, all the shifts and motions. Just got to hold on to the football. Fumble by Adam Brenneman got this thing started and led to a touchdown by South Carolina, and penalties have been a big part of it as well.
3rd and 1. Ford through the air picks up the first down to Bernard Davis, 5th-year senior from Lake Worth, Florida. It's a gain of 9.
Redshirt sophomore Andrew Ford showing a lot of poise. He gets the time. He can sit in the pocket and just kind of pick you apart. We mentioned it earlier. Ross Comas out of the game, more of the mobile type quarterback, but Ford just really executes Mark Whipple's offense.
He's more of a prototypical Whipple quarterback that they've had in years past. Like Frohnapple, I know, is probably watching today. He's a big fan of yours, Andre. He threw for 39 touchdowns, 6,300 yards. He's had, Blake Roethlisberger you talked about when he was the quarterback coach rookie year in Pittsburgh. Big guys who can really sling the ball downfield.
Big Ben can push it down the field, and he's coached up some good ones.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger, Blake, whatever, same guys. Andy Isabella with the.
I knew what you were talking about.
You knew. Gain of 10.
Here's that, the tempo. Their version of tempo. Speeding things up, moving guys, changing formations, and they can move the ball out of this.
This is what Mark Whipple wants to do within his offense. And they've emptied it here, 5 wide. Ford steps out of trouble, lobs it. Flag on the play. Pass interference will get him a first down. Stephen Montag trying to stay with Jalen Williams.
Yeah, Williams does a nice job of engaging the contact on Montag and then tries to fade away. He did a nice job of drawing the flag there to make it look like pass interference. A crafty senior in Jalen Williams.
There's 2 fouls on the play. Holding on the offense, number 68. pass interference, number 22 of the defense. Those fouls offset, replete first down.
That's a tough break. Elijah Wilkinson, who was injured last week and didn't play against Louisiana Tech at left tackle.
Watch Thomas here. There's the pass interference on the back end by Montag.
Toss to Marquise Young.
It really is nice to see him back in the game.
Looked like a left ankle injury earlier this half.
This brings a different element, some toughness and certainly speed. Get the edges, even running between the tackles. There's no hesitation. Just kind of get there. This is where they go to Brenneman or Isabella in this situation.
Looking at the crossing route, pass got tipped and it's incomplete. Jalen Williams on the drag, and it was knocked away by Uric Jones.
Just like the composure of Andrew Ford. Stands in the pocket, nothing really seems to rattle him. He's got a nice delivery of the football. He'll throw a lot of fastballs. It's just a catchable football, which receivers can appreciate.
Been good on third down today. Over the middle, complete for a first down again. Adam Brenneman having a great season for a guy who thought his college playing career was down after multiple knee injuries at Penn State.
You see him start outside. This is the same play they threw the touchdown pass in the red zone earlier. They start Travis Reynolds up the field. It pulls the safety, opens up the middle. They bring Brenneman back inside, and it was timed perfectly, just like the touchdown pass earlier.
Ford looks right, left, over the middle. Now he's got to scramble. Steps away from pressure. Fires. Complete. And that is just short of the first down marker to Travis Reynolds, but it's going to have UMass knocking on the door, facing second and short.
Watch the composure, slides, and then right there, don't know that he was in bounds.
Nope.
This one may get called down from upstairs to review this.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass. Second down.
They caught it on the field. Had a little discussion. The officials down on the field and able to come away and determine that it was incomplete. Excellent call.
Poor Rocky Good, our replay official, is standing up here saying, hey, you guys going to come to me or not? Still collecting a paycheck for this one.
He would eventually buzz down on this one. As you can see clearly, right foot is on the line.
The 11th play of the drive coming for UMass. On second and 10, blitz up the middle. Lob to the end zone. Just too much for Isabella.
Flag and Mark Whipple get back in this game, actually talking it over with Andrew Ford, and what they're going to do here.
This is 3rd and 10.
I'll tell you what, maybe come back, same formation, the corner route to Brenneman, the 6'5" player working against the linebacker, and they indeed go back to the same formation. Close to it, there's Brenneman up top.
Unbalanced to the left, and timeout taken by UMass.
Before the snap, timeout, UMass. Their first time out of the half.
Coming out of the timeout, UMass will be set up for a 3rd and 10, trailing by 20. South Carolina leads UMass. Cole, what are you seeing in the trenches down there?
Ulrich Jones and the South Carolina defensive line doing an excellent job getting a push in the middle of that UMass offensive line. Pressure coming up the gut. That can be problematic at the quarterback position.
They gave up 7 sacks last week, did UMass, and so far today, South Carolina only with 1 sack. They haven't really gotten to him.
And if you're a guy like Andrew Ford, you rather the pressure come from the outside so you can step up into the pocket. When it's right in your lap, that's tough because he's not known as a mobile quarterback.
Extra tackle on the left side again for UMass. Isabella took the direct snap that time. That's a new look, and Marquise Young has nowhere to go. They come out on 3rd and 10 with Isabella, wide receiver but a former running back, lined up in the Wildcat, and they just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, just kind of a scratch your head. Call timeout, you come back with that when you've had all your success in this drive by spreading things out. You tighten it down. That's the advantage to a bigger, stronger, and faster defensive unit like South Carolina.
Kicking has been an adventure for UMass this season. Logan Laurent on to attempt this one. He was set back by strep throat last week. This will be a 32-yard attempt. Snap and hold are good. The kick is not.
Looked like he was taking his time a little bit too much, trying to hit the kick perfectly, and just pulled it.
UMass just 1 for 6 in field goal attempts this season.
Just flat out pulled it left. I mean, he took his time. I thought, well, surely he would get it up a little bit faster because of the push South Carolina was getting, but tried to be a little bit too perfect with it.
He could barely kick this week. Still ill. Mark Whipple told us he kicked Wednesday's practice, early in practice, and just went home. So missed opportunity. Isabella had that wildcat run, and he's getting coached up by Whipple on the sideline. Meanwhile, on the other side, quarterback position for South Carolina has been a real boost to their energy today and to the offensive production overall. Here's Deebo Samuel on the jet sweep. All the way up the sideline, and he dances his way out of bounds in a gain of 23. Deebo Samuel, third-year sophomore from Inman, South Carolina, has been beset by hamstring injuries over his young football playing career, but he's helping out.
Yeah, the speed to get to the edges is something that they talked about. They being Kurt Roper wanted to get Samuel involved along with Dowdle. Get him out on the edges, take advantage of the speed advantage South Carolina had on offense.
Here's Samuel again on the screen, and he'll get a few here. They monitor his reps in practice with a GPS unit, and Deebo Samuel's practices essentially end whenever he crosses a 3,000-yard plateau per practice. Well, Muschamp was talking to us about it. He's, our history shows and our medical research shows that most of these hamstring injuries occur and problems arise because of fatigue, so we have to manage his practice load. Now, game day, Katie barred the door. He can be out there all day.
Yeah.
David Williams taken down at the line of scrimmage, gain of 1. Shockey Holiness with the stop. Glad our bosses don't put GPS units on us. Seen my trips to the buffet last night.
I need to see mine, the California Dreaming, twice in 2 days. Can't shake the place when I come to Columbia.
I don't know if anything makes you happy.
Oh, it puts a smile on my face. Straight from the airport.
3rd and 6 for Jake Bentley. Pressure. We got a hand on him. Bentley felt that pressure, and he took off. Found one. Deshaun Downey, junior from White Plains, New York, in on the stop.
And that's going to happen. You're going to get sacked as a quarterback. You don't play the position, and it doesn't happen. But you're not forcing it, trying to make a play. And that just shows you the football intelligence of a young player. Not trying to force the ball into coverage to try to force a play that's just not there. Take a sack in the drive with a kick.
Sean Kelly gets it away from the 11. Nothing doing for James Allen. 44-yard punt. It's a loss of 2. Big one coming up this afternoon. Texas A&M and #1 Alabama. Nick Saban 22-6 in top 10 matchups as a head coach. A couple late ones tonight. 6 o'clock Eastern on the ESPN. Arkansas and Auburn. Ole Miss LSU real late tonight in Death Valley.
With some really good games. I'll go A&M. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Alabama. Lost it for a second. Alabama, Arkansas, and Ole Miss. 2 road teams in that trio of games there. I think Alabama big, though.
They've had at least 1 non-offensive touchdown in 9 consecutive games.
That defense going to be tough for A&M's offensive line to handle.
Our friends Vern and Gary have the call. Vern Lundquist was the guest picker on game day this morning from Tuscaloosa. Ford hands off. And Marquise Young stops. So if you think Alabama big in that one, you see anybody in the SEC beating Alabama this year?
No, not this year. Not as it's kind of gone along like Nick Saban wanted it to. Jalen Hurts has gotten a little bit better each and every week, and Lane Kiffin's been able to put more and more on his plate. The defense came out playing well, and they've been able to rely on that part of the team to kind of carry him as a young quarterback has continued to grow. So no, I don't see anybody, especially when they get to the SEC championship game. That could be really ugly.
Tennessee would have to be healthy,
and they're not right now.
No.
Third
the back
quarter
half of the schedule might allow Butch's crew to get healthy. We head to the 4th quarter. The Jake Bentley era is here. It's gotten off to a great start. We'll see if it can continue. 4th quarter between UMass and South Carolina coming up next. Andre's where to watch. How is it tallied up?
Yeah, limiting the mistakes. Well, UMass hadn't done that. 3 turnovers and 13 points off turnovers. South Carolina, they needed production from the quarterback spot. 15-24, 175, 2 touchdowns, and he's taking care of the football. The defensive line, they needed to dominate. No sacks, but they have shut down the running game. Only 32 yards since the first quarter when UMass had 70. Really have kind of contained the running game to this point.
UMass comes out to a 3rd and 6 to start the 4th quarter. Ford, incomplete, looking for Isabella. Coverage from Chris Lamont. So punting situation now, and South Carolina starting the 4th quarter will have a chance to put some separation between themselves and the Minutemen.
Made the Minutemen one-dimensional. Can't run the football with success on the early downs, forcing you into 3rd and medium, 3rd and long, and then getting off the field. South Carolina, a nice job on defense here in the second half.
Here's Lamons, lost the fumble, and South Carolina may have recovered it. It has
still
been
loose.
A disaster in special teams play when it comes to punt returns for South Carolina this season. They've rotated a handful of guys back there, and what a big break this would be for UMass.
I talked to Will Muschamp. He talked about the wind. He said it's a perfect day, not a cloud in the sky, and he said, yeah, the wind needs to calm down. With our punt returns, we've struggled in that area. And it looks like UMass going to come up with it. Yep.
And Will Muschamp is going to go through punt returners like he goes through quarterbacks.
And this is away from the sun. Nice job by UMass to get down. Best field position they've had in the second half.
There was concern with the sun pregame. Chris Lamont talking with one of the officials, looking towards the south end zone and looking into the sun. This was 45 minutes before, and he was trying to check with the official, how can I shield my eyes without calling for a fair catch? So doing his research there, but Sun had his back here, and he just couldn't handle it.
It's tough. It's frustrating for a head coach, but Will Muschamp spoke to it down on the field.
Marquise Young gets dropped by DJ Smith after a gain of 3. So a huge flip of the field and momentum for UMass here. Looking for just its second win of the season
Yeah, this is 4-down territory going in. Field goals won't do it. They're not going to get you close. You've had a miss already, and now it's every down counts going forward. You need to find a way to get big points and get yourself in the end zone. Or what I refer to are the big points, which are touchdowns.
Ford scanning, drop, lobs, and that one's given right back to South Carolina. Chris Lamons. That'll bail him out. TJ Holloman put Ford on his back, and it caused that one to float like a balloon.
It's kind of poetic justice there. You drop a fumble, a punt return, and you're the guy that comes up with the interception to get the football back for your team. See the pressure. Watch TJ Holloman come free right there, not allowing Andrew Ford to step into this pass, and it just hung in the air forever for Chris Lamont.
And remember what Holloman told us yesterday? He said, you know, we really didn't blitz much last year.
Yeah.
We're pretty vanilla defense over the last couple of seasons. It's a lot more fun playing in this one. Rico Dowdle. Gain of 5.
There was no doubt, talking to Holloman yesterday, that they were going to bring some pressure. Only 3 interceptions, and that's still for T-Rob, the defensive coordinator, 3 interceptions, only 17 return yards. Well, that one wasn't a big return by Lamont, but they're certainly glad to have the football back.
Dowdle again, room again, and he bounces this to the outside. The freshman running back picks up 16 yards and a first down. Kari Bailey-Smith finally brings him down.
I'm telling you, this team, you can get some production in the passing game, and now it will open up this, because you're not sitting there with 8-man fronts all game long and trying to run the football. So you'll get some production from the running backs, David Williams, Dowdle, A.J. Turner, and now you got a guy that can push the ball down the field, and Jake Bentley.
On the ground, running to that trips side of the formation. Bailey-Smith the tackle, gain of 1. Cole?
Tom, really like what I'm seeing from left guard Zach Bailey for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Previous 2 plays, he pulls out to the right, gets a nice kick-out block on both occasions with Springs 2 big runs, blocks back on that previous play. Talk to anybody on this offensive staff, they'll tell you he is their biggest asset up front along the offensive line.
Yeah, he's a good young player, just a sophomore. He's their best run blocker and played some center last year, got some versatility to his game.
Play for John McKissick at Somerville High School here in South Carolina, legendary coach there. Look right, come back left. Debo caught up 2 and lost the football. Right back to UMass, scooped up by Isaiah Rogers. And Rogers has room down to the 30. And the game of ping pong continues after the muff punt, a pick, and now a fumble. And UMass back into good shape. Little jawing at the end of this one.
John and Allen Knott, the redshirt junior center, who took a shot on Rogers at the end of this. He's still up, and that ball's coming loose. That's a fumble.
The previous ruling of a fumble is under further review.
That play's going to stay as the Isaiah Rogers forced fumble. That right knee still above the turf, as you saw, partner. Good call before Rogers started to jar that ball loose.
Yeah, Rogers caused the fumble, had the presence in mind to get up, go recover it. It's going to be UMass's football on about right at the 30-yard line of South Carolina.
Rocky Good is our replay official. Matt Austin has the headset on.
Now, here's when you spread them out and you throw the football around a little bit. And if you're gonna run it, you run it with everybody spread out with Marquise Young to get the element of speed while you have
After
the defense
review,
spread
the
out.
ruling on the field stands.
Good call by the officials, the replay booth. It's always good when they agree with you, right?
Yes. We've had 3 turnovers in the last 7 plays.
It's shot time if I'm calling plays push the ball down the field. You got a defense that's back on the field after a turnover. They're ticked off that they're back out there. Go at them. Attack.
Ford has thrown a couple of picks today to go with 2 touchdown passes. Isabella in motion. On play action, they pick up the edge. Ford lets it go down the sideline. It is incomplete. It was in the hands of Jalen Williams, but juggled.
Took the shot, getting Andrew Ford out of harm's way. Going to roll him to his left, and this is thrown perfectly. You cannot drop it or walk it down there and put it in the arms of Jalen Williams any better than this ball was thrown. Perfect throw by Andrew Ford.
Growing pains continue for this young UMass team. 16 freshmen have seen action this season, only 6 all of last season. Ford hands it off to Young. And to change direction behind the line of scrimmage, still managed to grind out 6. Darius English the stop.
I really like him as a football player. 6 foot, 196 pounds. He has speed. He's young. He's a true sophomore. Going to add some weight this offseason. Be a good one for the next couple of years for Mark Whipple.
He's got 93 yards already today. To Brenneman, the tight end. DJ Smith, the tackle, gain of 6.
Be enough for the first down to move the chains. Keep an eye out for that 2 tight end formation where they had some success with Travis Reynolds and Adam Brenneman. They lined them up at the same side and were able to find Brenneman in the end zone. Unbalanced line here.
They roll Ford left behind that strong side, and that one's incomplete. What is the benefit of going with an unbalanced line, which UMass has done a lot?
It's protection. You see Brenneman here. He's next to the guard, so you got all linemen to his left. They take the right tackle and Driscoll and move him over, and it's for protection purposes. They're going to roll the quarterback to that side. It allows him to get all the way outside the pocket without having any pressure in his face.
Well, then how predictable do they become when they do that?
Well, that's the thing about it, is they do become predictable.
Tight end right here, pitch left. Young's got Isabella blocking for him, able to clear some space. And he's able to pick up 8. That'll leave 3rd and 2. Chaz Elder, DJ Smith with the stop.
I just can't tell you how impressed I am with Marquise Young.
He's over 100 yards now, partner, 25 for 102.
Look at the average, 4.1 yards against an SEC defense. I tell you what, he's got speed, he's got some toughness to him, catches the ball well, complete back.
Big down here, 3rd and 1. Young takes a direct snap and got the first down. He was able to carry Kelsey Griffin with him, and UMass will be looking at a 1st and goal from inside the 10. They'll mark it at the 8-yard line.
I'm wondering if he can throw a pass from back there, because everybody's selling out on the run when he goes into the gun. If he just starts up the field, takes a step back and lobs one, somebody's going to be wide open.
Empty backfield for Ford. The line holds. Ford run. He can run with it. He'll go up the sideline and got the pylon. Touchdown UMass. Slow developing, but it's an 8-yard run for Andrew Ford. His first rushing touchdown of the season.
Boy, it just opened up to his left where nobody's open. He starts to slide, and then they're in man coverage, so you got all these defenders in coverage with the receivers, and he's able to just walk it into the end zone. Backs are turned. They start to square up and look back as it was taking a little bit too long for the play to develop, but by then it was too late.
Andrew Libby, the holder.
Still enough time, Tom.
Michael Caggiano to attempt. That was a 7-play, 30-yard drive. The fumble set it up. Not a good snap, but a great recovery by Andrew Libby.
The score is Carolina.
Andrew Ford, not known for his legs, able to extend this play and take it to the pylon from 8 yards out. Interesting development here in South Carolina. Well, South Carolina has upgraded a quarterback. They're now driving a Bentley, and this kid comes with a ton of energy. Brings some offense and enthusiasm to this South Carolina program, which was averaging just 14 points a game coming into this one. And he's got that look. He's got the swagger and moxie of a big-time quarterback. It took the red shirt off of him, and it's paid off in a big way. 2 touchdowns through the air to match the season total for South Carolina's offense coming in. Now we have an interesting game here in the fourth quarter, but the kickoff goes out of bounds. UMass once again with a shot to their foot after the takeaway in the score. South Carolina will be benefiting from field position.
Still doesn't allow Jake Bentley to relax.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team, number 31. Ball to be placed in the 35. First down.
Not yet, at least at this point in the game.
We thought there was something familiar about Bentley's touchdown celebration and pose. You seeing it?
He studies a lot of film, studies a lot of players, and the number 4, I like it.
Kind of has that gunslinger attitude. That's what I noticed when I was here for one of those fall scrimmages. He was, of the 3 quarterbacks, the one that continuously went deep. And offensive coordinator Kurt Roper said, yeah, that's something he'll do, and we don't want to break him of it. He said, I got to find a way to control it, because you get a corner on the offside, he might come over and make you pay for it, but I don't ever want to break him of that aggressive attitude.
Well, I think he studies the game, and he's smart enough to where he knows when to pick and choose to go deep. And you've seen it in this game, and getting through progressions, the pre-snap reads, knowing where to go with the football. He's done a nice job of that.
Williams hit immediately in a big stop by Peter Angay and Deshaun Downey.
Downey starting to come to life. One of their better pass rushers off the edge and playmakers in this defense with Shane Uber out. They really need him to have the type of game that he's capable of having. Just a junior out of White Plains, New York.
Here's Brandon McElwain. Two-sport standout. Perfect game All-American on the diamond, playing for Chad Holbrook's South Carolina baseball team when he's not playing football. Got into 8 games last year. No gain there for the freshman from Newtown, Pennsylvania. Made 3 starts this season, but didn't get a snap against Georgia last time out. We have not seen Perry Orth once this season. 11 starts over the once this game. 11 starts over the last 2 seasons for the 5th-year senior quarterback for South Carolina.
Tell you what, forcing a punt, UMass gets in the end zone here. It's game on.
Fair catch requested by Allen, and he hauls it in a crowd. 13-point game, 8:08 to go in the 4th from Columbia.
The Network Football is presented by Allstate. Proud supporters of college football, it's good to be in good hands. And in part by Cooper Tire. Visit CooperTire.com or a Cooper Tire dealer today.
South Carolina State Fair continues just north of Williams-Brice Stadium. That's a live shot, and so is this. This, my friends, is a glazed donut, bacon, mac, and cheeseburger, Andre. It's got a little bit of everything on here.
A little bacon, a little tomatoes, some mac and cheese.
It's even got lettuce.
Oh,
so we've got
goodness.
some vegetables, tomato and onion.
We got to cut that baby up and let's do some work on it. Yeah, I'm going to try it.
All right.
You kidding?
Get us through the 4th quarter and what's become a very interesting game. Thanks to our friends from the South Carolina State Fair for providing that, and UMass for making this interesting here in the 4th quarter as Marquise Young takes it for 12.
All of a sudden, they found a way. South Carolina at one point had only allowed 32 yards since the 2nd quarter, and it was well into the 3rd quarter. Now Marquise Young starting to find some creases in this run game again.
Midway through the 4th, Andrew Ford lets it go incomplete between his 2 receivers, Isabella and Reynolds.
Like there was a mix-up. He was expecting Isabella to stay out a little bit wider. But here's when you go back to Brenneman. Adam Brenneman, who's been money so far. He's to the left side of the formation, up top in the slot.
Isabella, gain of 5.
Trying to take the hitch route, get something on third down, so that you get at least to, on second down, where you get it to third and medium, and you get yourself back on schedule. Where's Brenneman? Where's Isabella? Those are the money men on third down for Andrew Ford.
And good for a first down on the catch by Brenneman. You called it. That's his 7th catch of the day to lead all receivers.
Well, you know it's coming. You still got to stop it. And he does a nice job with body position on the defender. Nice out route, and he flattens it. That's what gets him open against DJ Smith.
Ford looking for a pump and go. Coverage was there. Now he's flush. Lobs it deep down, wide open, and he overshot Brenneman. There wasn't anyone within 15 yards. Somehow Brenneman got behind the coverage and a missed opportunity.
He was a threat to run. That drew the coverage. Watch him as he gets out of the pocket. Everybody's going to come up. Brenneman sitting there wide open. Look at this. Throw me the ball, please. You could punt it and complete it. I got to feel if he catches that one, he's going to turn, get in the end zone. That's one as a quarterback that you wish you had back. Sometimes the hardest throws are when the guys are wide open like that.
And that one's incomplete, trying to find Marquise Young. We talked with this UMass coaching staff about all the injuries they've been through this season. And there's some belief that could be cumulative based on the schedule that they play, going against their 3rd SEC team, Boston College, another big one that they had to play, a big front. And you wonder if maybe some of the hits Ford's taken today is leading to his lack of execution.
Not that one to Brenneman.
No, okay.
no way. I know. I feel where you're going. You want to give him an exception here, but no way. Well, that one should have been a completion for a touchdown.
He also missed an easy one, or seemingly easy one, to Young right there over his head. 3rd and 10 after 2 consecutive incompletions. And so they'll turn to Young, and they got him by his shirt tail, which is going to keep him from picking up a first down and leave 4th and 2.5.
Well, when they spread out South Carolina, that's when they've had success in the running game. It's when they've tightened the formation down. You see here, fullback is going to get right in behind the fullback and just kind of pick his way, able to turn him around. That kind of stymied the momentum, but here on 4th down, this is when they like to roll Andrew Ford away from the pressure and throw something quick in the flats.
3-man rush. They go right there. It's caught for the first down.
Who is it again?
It's Mr. Brenneman. Lost his helmet. That's the only way you can keep him from being productive. Will have to come off for a play. 8th catch of the day for Brenneman.
He's doing a number on these safeties of South Carolina. DJ Smith, Chaz Elder. Nice quick out. Ball's on time. In between 2 defenders, and he's still able to. You got 3 guys there closing on Brenneman.
DJ Smith went down holding his right knee. We'll step away for a timeout with 5:55 to go. UMass driving on South Carolina. That's an injury tent that will protect the player from the view of the opponent when they're being given medical treatment. And inside that tent for South Carolina is DJ Smith, and along with him, a team-high 12 tackles. He rolled his ankle on that last play before being taken out of the game. It's a big loss for South Carolina. Meanwhile, UMass continues this drive. This is the 9th play of the drive, as they look to get within a touchdown of South Carolina in their first ever win against an SEC opponent. On play action, Ford eludes pressure. On the run, incomplete. Big hit on Bernard Davis by Jamarcus King. Separated Davis from the football.
Yeah, prevented a big play in the passing game. Ford does a nice job working the pocket and then escaping, and it was a well-thrown football that you just kind of have to catch. You know you're going to take a shot. You got to come up with that catch. Bernard Davis, a senior, should make that play.
2 years at Coffeyville Community College in Kansas for King. They're still refining his technique. He's put a lot of work in, but he's got great ball skills. Play clock at 5. They'll roll Ford left again. The southpaw will throw, and that is incomplete. Missed opportunities.
Again.
Bernard Davis couldn't haul it in.
Second time. Lake Worth, Florida, the fifth-year senior. He's open. Ball's there, low and in front. You got to make that catch. That's 2. He allowed King to break up the last one. That one, really no excuse. He should have caught it.
UMass first year as an independent after calling the MAC home for a handful of years. 5:37 to go, looking for a signature victory on the road. They need points and in a hurry. And it is almost intercepted by King. Able to break on that long pass. Pulled one out of his quiver that was designed for Isabella.
Tavares Robinson, the defensive coordinator, told me about his length. I said, what is it? What's special about Jamarcus King? Watch the break that he gets on this ball. And on a couple of occasions today, he can't get there to intercept it. But boy, those long arms, that long frame allows him to get a hand in and deflect the ball away. That's what NFL teams are looking for. 6'2", 180. He's going to add some weight. The ball skills are there. I think he's got a future on the next level.
4th and 10. Pressure coming up the middle. Ford. Great touch for a first down to Davis. And the drive alive, and extra yardage on a flag on a late hit.
Yeah, late hit out of bounds, and when he needed it, Davis finally coming up with a play on 4th down to move the chains, and then some additional yardage on the late hit out of bounds.
Following the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 26. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Don't relax yet, South Carolina fans. We still got a ways to the finish, and UMass making a case to get back in this game. What a well-thrown ball out in front by Andrew Ford to Bernard Davis, who dropped 2 in this drive or in this series of downs, but they're coming up big on 4th down.
Remember, UMass had a great 4th quarter against Mississippi State.
Brian Brenneman.
They almost came back to win that one at Gillette. Ford, end zone, shy of the end zone and incomplete. They did find him. Matter of fact, 4 jerseys of a different color surrounding Adam Brenneman that time.
And he probably should have gone to Travis Reynolds, who was in the end zone. They separate. Reynolds, you see, going left. Brenneman comes inside, and that's triple coverage. And Reynolds in the corner basically by himself. Can't make up your mind. You still have to read coverage when you get down inside the red zone. A lot of quarterbacks go with the security blanket, and that's certainly Adam Brenneman for Andrew Ford.
14th play of the drive. Pressure. Ford gets dropped. Bryson Allen Williams with his first sack and skip of the season. It's a loss of 7.
Not sure if the receivers were all on the same page in terms of coverage, but it took a while for everybody to get down the field. A little bit too long. Here comes pressure. Every receiver's route has to speed up. You got to recognize it, cut those routes off, and get open.
Timeout, South Carolina. The first time out of the half.
UMass wanted to hurry it up on 3rd and 17. South Carolina will use the timeout here to set the defense. 4:38 remaining here at Williams-Brice Stadium.
You see here, you're going to get the blitz from this area of the field. Now, what they're trying to do is run a pick where they do this. You pick out here and run a receiver underneath. But once you know the blitz is coming, everything has to speed up. You're running the full route. Everything's got to shorten itself up to give Andrew Ford a chance to get the football out.
3rd down, 17. They need to get it inside the 2.
4-down territory certainly here for UMass.
Caught, touchdown, Adam Brenneman. 18-yard strike, 2nd touchdown catch of the day as a former high school teammates hook up again.
The former Penn State player, the transfer. You go with a guy that you're comfortable with, you know that can make plays for you. Forward to Brenneman, and they are back in this football game. After all the turnovers, UMass still alive.
They're able to cash in on a 15-play drive. Michael Caggiano with the extra point.
Kick is good. Our score.
Boy, just throws a frozen rope to Brenneman up the seam. And this is looking off the safety and letting one go. You know you're going to take a shot. DJ Smith is there, but he's just too big, too strong, and the hands solid by Adam Brenneman. Watch this throw. Got a little velocity on that one. And he protects Brenneman with the throw. Just spin him around. The 2 high school teammates to playing throw and catch here.
You think Brenneman's happy he continued his collegiate career? He left Penn State thinking he was done after multiple knee injuries. And these 2 kids who played together at Cedar Cliff High School in Pennsylvania, where Andrew Ford was an Elite 11 quarterback. He went on to Virginia Tech, signed with them before junior college for a couple seasons in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and then on to UMass. And Brenneman was done. He was home, basically shutting it down. He was hired as a campaign manager for Mike Regan, a state Senate candidate in Pennsylvania. They won the Republican primary in the 31st district, but he discovered politics, as we all know by now, is a brutal industry. He came back to football, a little bit less violence in football.
No doubt about it, and these 2 have another year to connect with one another. They got at least another year together, with Ford being a sophomore and Brenneman just a junior. Future looks bright for Mark Whipple's offense.
6-point game here. Ball back to South Carolina, and the kick is fumbled out of the end zone and scooped back up. Special teams disasters continue. A.J. Turner will cost him 10 yards of field position, actually 15 after that ball was kicked out of the end zone. And the reason we're here right now, and it's a 6-point game instead of a 7-point game, special teams. This was a key play in the first half. A muffed hold on a good snap. South Carolina couldn't get the kickoff. Sean Kelly, the holder, couldn't get his hands on it. And Elliott Fry hasn't missed an extra point in his entire career.
You see here the fumble by A.J. Turner on the kickoff return. If you just stay in the end zone, you get the ball at the 20. Now it's advantage UMass, who can really play downhill and attack a true freshman quarterback in Jake Bentley.
So Bentley trying to will them to a win here in the 4th quarter, directing traffic. He gets Samuel to throw a block for him, and he slides down after a gain of 7.
A nice job there, not panicking. And as he's approaching the line of scrimmage, he's directing traffic, just out there having fun.
Cole, what do you see?
Talked to Brian Blackman, Opelika High School head coach, this morning, actually, Tom, and he said Jake Bentley won me over in moments that he was under pressure at Opelika High School. Played their rival, Auburn High School, last year. Game-winning drive with under 2 minutes left. Said that's the moment I knew this kid can lead. Is going to be a big-time player.
Well, it's a big step up from Alabama high school football, and a big step to Deebo Samuel's got the first down. Past the 40-yard line, a gain of 24.
Well, right on the money. Up the seam goes Samuel. And Jake Bentley throws a dime of his own. Watch here, off the play fake, looking outside, comes back inside to Samuel. That's nice work. True freshman in a pressure situation. And Jake Bentley starting to deliver for South Carolina.
8th catch for 105 for Samuel. Bentley deep down the sideline. Too much. Brian Blackman, his high school coach, made the drive over from Alabama to be at this game today. We've got a flag on the play down inside the 30. That's going to give South Carolina some yardage.
That's what we were talking about earlier. He's not afraid to take deep shots. We're in a big part of the ball game.
Pass interference. Defense number 27. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And with the receivers of South Carolina, the Brian Edwards, Debo Samuel have to realize is this guy can get you the football. You don't stop running. Perry Orth, Brandon McElwain, they can't make that throw. But certainly, Jake Bentley can.
Well, isn't it also a frame of mind, that aggressive mindset to make the throw, even to attempt it, whether or not you have the arm strength? That's where he's looking.
Yeah, and they're not, used to it. This is the first game with this type of arm strength on the field with this receiving group. So it takes a little bit of adjusting to trust that I can continue running and the ball's going to get there.
So first down for the Gamecocks after the PI. And we've got another flag down as Rico Dowdle tries to find some room.
It's usually an illegal formation when it comes in from the side. And that quickly.
Illegal formation on the offense. More than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Just count them there. You see them all in the backfield right here. Too many. The officials are going to call it every time. You needed one more on the line of scrimmage.
Probably that wide receiver that was at the top of the formation. So first and 15. 3:05 to go. UMass has 2 timeouts remaining.
It is still a long way to the finish line. But the way Jake Bentley's playing, you feel like you're in good hands if you're Will Muschamp. He has taken care of the football today.
They want him to milk the clock a little bit here. The play clock starts, and we'll get under 3 minutes. Take the time, look at the clock, and wait for the snap is this instruction from the sideline. Get it at least to single digits. And he'll take off up the middle, find nothing. Loss of 2. Ali Musa there.
I understand what the coaching staff is trying to do, but sometimes that just kills the rhythm of the offense. If you're this close, you're driving, you got a hot quarterback, the offense is moving the football, just go execute. You're going to run the football, run it, but don't bring him out of the huddle and have them standing at the line of scrimmage and the clock's just running. You become stale offensively, and I think that's what happened on the last snap, that last play.
Imagine you're not doing your offensive line any favors
None.
either.
It's a long time to ask the big guys to stay in a stance.
They'll do it again here. Play clock will get to 5. Pressure coming. Bentley over the middle. Incomplete. There are multiple flags. Line judge just launched his 30 yards. Bakari Goodson had the coverage. Trying to get it to Jacob August.
Yeah, Goodson had a big interception last week against Louisiana Tech, but wrapped up and then kind of wheeled his body in front around the receiver. Certainly interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 45. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Young player, true freshman that continues to improve, but when that ball got through, it went right through the hands of Jacob August, the tight end.
1:49 remaining. On a drive where UMass desperately needs a stop.
They need a turnover at this point. 1:49. You've got to have the football. And if I'm South Carolina, I'm just going to run it from this point on. Start forcing the timeouts with the 1st and 10.
August and Hurst will shift to the right side. Rico Dowdle's bottled up. Timeout taken by UMass to stop the clock with 1:41. Well, it got down to 1:39 now.
Timeout UMass.
So this, if it holds, would be a win to build on for South Carolina. They would need to win 4 of their last 6.
To 1:42.
To get back to a bowl, it was a regular occurrence under Steve Spurrier. They missed the postseason last year. Tennessee is next. And Missouri comes to town. They have to go to the Swamp. Catamounts of Western Carolina come here, and they close, as always, with Clemson.
Well, the thing about it for the opponents on that schedule is that now you got to prepare for something else, which is Jake Bentley. And it's an element of South Carolina's offense that they haven't been able to put on display because they certainly just couldn't hit areas of the field with the passing game. And now you have to respect the ability to go deep. If the defense can play well enough, you may be able to get yourself on a roll here.
Well, it was funny talking with the coaches yesterday, and specifically Will Muschamp, and he was being very coy about whether or not Bentley would start. I said, what happens if you do make a change at quarterback? He said, if we make a change and we can get the ball on the perimeter and our wide receivers stay healthy, we really feel like this could be a taking off point for the offense.
Yeah, you got tight ends involved, and Hurst and Crosby. Samuel is dynamic with the ball in his hands, and Edwards, he's starting to make plays.
On second down, gain of 2. That will leave 3rd and 5, 1:36 remaining. Another timeout used by UMass. That will be their last. UMass anticipated Jake Bentley would see time today. Came out and got the start. And he brought a boost of energy to this team right off the bat.
Yeah, started with Brian Edwards, then able to make some plays, moving around. He threw a nice pass to Casey Crosby. That was his first touchdown pass. Went right back, same area of the field to Brian Edwards. He comes down. That's the second touchdown pass. Having a little fun on a Saturday afternoon is Jake Bentley. 17 of 26, 201 and 2 touchdowns. Not a bad day for his first start.
He's our player of the game, brought to you by Allies. It's kind of funny. Doesn't seem to be any difference to him playing on a Saturday afternoon versus a Friday night.
No, which is where he should be playing after having graduated high school as a junior, coming on to South Carolina. But I was impressed when I got a chance to see him before the game at just the size. He is a big kid at 6'3", 223, and he is every bit of those measurables.
There was some thought by Will Muschamp that had he been committed to Auburn or Alabama, maybe the Opelika School District would have been more understanding of trying to find that last class to get his high school diploma. Rico down on the left side, as it were. He had to get his high school diploma in Spartanburg, South Carolina. They'll go victory formation the rest of the way. Jake Bentley comes off the bench, essentially. They take off his red shirt. And he comes out to lead South Carolina to a win in his very first start. They were only averaging 305 yards a game. Now with them, nearly 400 today. They averaged only 14 points a game before today.
And now a season high of only 20. And you take the red shirt off Jake Bentley, and he's able to put up 34.
So this is one game. What about his performance today suggests that he can replicate this performance? Maybe not exactly, but be the best choice at quarterback for South Carolina against SEC competition.
I think because you're high on him as a coaching staff because he took care of the football. Now he's shown you I can get through progressions and get to the right receivers. So now going forward, there was a very limited playbook with Jake Bentley today. They will consistently add to that playbook for him as you get into Tennessee and games down the schedule. He'll get a little bit more each week.
Jake Bentley era off to a pretty good start for Will Muschamp and company. Mark Whipple's team goes 0-3 against the SEC this year. Long flight back to Amherst. But for now, the story of the day is freshman quarterback Jake Bentley. South Carolina moves to 3-4, back to SEC play next week against Tennessee. We'll be back with more from Williams-Brice Stadium in just a moment. But first, Let's get back to the studio and check in with Peter Burns.